From Abessinio Stadium on a chilly night here in Wilmington, it's your Delaware Live Sports pregame show right here on 302. Tonight we get our first look at Class 1A's Tatnall and St. Elizabeth's, two teams that met in the semifinals last season. Good evening, everyone. I'm Nick Alessandrini. Happy to be back for week 3 of Delaware High School football alongside my broadcast partners and producer Jason Winchell and Mike Lang. Guys, how we feeling into week number 3? Did you miss me last week?
We did.
How am I stuck out here?
Oh, you got shorts on. You're brave enough.
Yeah, well, it's not too bad. It was actually, I was at DMA last night for the Conrad game, and it was quite a bit colder last night. So
that's true. It was a little bit
I got a
chillier.
good look at that Cape Dover game over there. I'm good.
That's right. We got some games going on up and down the state of Delaware today, guys, and we have the luxury of having this one in front of us, Tatnall and St. Elizabeth's. Let's start with our team previews. Let's talk about a little bit about the Tatnall Hornets. 0-2 coming into the season, guys, but head coach Avery McMullen last year had them trending in the right direction. Once again this year, they've got some talent back. Two very tough teams to open up their season to start, Jason.
Yeah, I looked at their schedule at the beginning of the year when we were putting together previews, and they play 7 playoff teams from last year on their schedule.
Wow.
Plus 4 of them are 2A playoff teams, and 2 of them they got the first 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Then they get St. Elizabeth, who, was in the finals last year. So, it's not an easy start, not an easy schedule. I'll tell you what, they're going to load up in bonus points, and I think they will finish in top 4 in District 1. So, I like the idea of putting together a schedule like this where they continue with their independent schools, even though Friends and Tower Hill moved up, and then you add Archmere, and, their schedule is good. They're a good team, and I don't look at records.
And Mike, a guy that we had the chance to check out last year, and he's back this year, and that is the running back for Tatnall, the first team 1A back in 2021 last season. That's Rayshawn Lamons. We had a chance to check him out last year at Friends, then in the playoff game last season in the semifinals against St. Elizabeth. He is one dynamic player that the Hornets have on offense.
Yeah, and I've had a chance to watch him earlier this season at Archmere, and Rayshawn Lamons is good at escaping. He's kind of an escape artist out there. Hard to tackle, and they rely on him a lot, Nick. And it's not a very deep team, kind of like St. Elizabeth's, not very deep, and they rely on their skill players. And when you say skill players, Rayshawn Lamons, he's right up there as far as skill goes.
And another guy you're going to have to look out for, that's the center. You're going to see him on the defensive line. That's Justin Smith, district lineman of.
Like you said, Tatnall was going in the right direction at the end of last year, but this was the team that knocked them out of the playoffs. So I think they're going to be up and ready for this game tonight here where their season ended last year, and we'll see how it goes for the Hornets, but I'm really looking forward to this.
Yeah, the 2 games last year, the scoreboard may not have shown it. The first game was really one-sided. The second game, the score was one-sided, but the game was really not. It was a very competitive game here between St. E's and Tatnall. Like Jay said, it wasn't that long ago. I'm sure these guys remember. That was a game that sent St. Elizabeth into the championship for the first time since 2010. Pat Garianis might remember something about that. But it was a much more competitive game. Coach Avery McMullen's done a great job with Tatnall, getting those kids to believe in themselves and that there are more than just 11 guys going out in the field to take a beating.
And again, when talking to Coach McMullen earlier this week, that's one thing he referenced was the fact that their season ended right here last season, as Jason said, on this field. That's going to be fresh in the minds of the Hornets today. But offensively, they're led by a new name, Jason. They got a new quarterback in town this year for Tatnall.
Yeah, and I'll tell you what, he looked good. I know that they didn't score against Archmere, but he threw a couple nice passes down the field. They drove into Archmere territory. We're in the red zone at one point in that game. And then Archmere forced a turnover on downs. But he impressed me with some of his throws. In fact, me and Mike were talking on the sidelines. We're like, we couldn't believe he was a freshman quarterback. So he makes some good decisions. Last week we did that game at Redline, and the freshman quarterback down there impressed us. So I think this is the year we have some great freshman quarterbacks in the state of Delaware.
And that's Quinn DeVere. Again, look for him tonight to look for that first touchdown pass for the Hornets. And again, when you're talking to Coach, he said there are 3 guys that can have the ability to make a big play, and that's Jude Maycole, Micah Stamper, and Eli Buffone. 3 names to watch and skill position players here for Tatnall. Again, we remember Micah Stamper had a few big plays last year when we saw him here for the Tatnall Hornets. But again, when we talked to him, he had his keys to the game, Jason and Mike, and this is what he said. He said you got to make a few splash plays, but they want to sustain drives. That's what he wanted to emphasize.
That's key against this St. Elizabeth's team. The best way to defend them is keep their offense off the field. So some time-consuming drives, like he said, convert on third down, sustain drives. That is a big key, and I'm glad the coach said that. He knows that that St. Isa has a strong defensive line play, but they need to find ways to make plays, stay on the field, and make St. E's offense off the field.
And Mike, one person that he highlighted, I'm sure you've heard of him. That's the running back on the other side for St. E's. One of his keys to the game, you got to slow down, number 3.
Yeah, I've heard of Kasim Benson. Sure, Seamer, everybody calls him Seamer. He's a threat to score every time he touches the ball. Nick, he cuts. He's slippery. He doesn't go down when he's hit the first time. The thing I worry about with Kasim, and we've talked about this, is he plays. A lot of these guys, they all play, and he gets a lot of. He's the straw that stirs the drink, as they say.
And again, the Hornets 0-2. Coach McMillan said they are fired up. They are looking for that first win of the season after playing some tough 2A matchups, as Jason alluded to earlier, to open up the season against Archmere as well as Wilmington Friends. Those are 2 top 4 teams in Class 2A, so they're going to look to make an improvement here today. Tatnall still young. A team that's not young is the team on the other side. The team fresh off of that state championship appearance back in 2021. They are led, of course, by the head coach, Mike Lemon. 2-0 on the season. They beat Conrad 45-6 and then a 49-6 win over Christiana. So 45+ for the offense in the first 2 weeks. Just 1 touchdown a game allowed by the defense. They have weekly game day captains, so we aren't sure who was named captains for today's matchup. We'll get you those just ahead of the coin toss. But it all starts, as we just talked to with Mike, and that's number 3, Kasim Benson. 22 carries, 284 yards, 7 touchdowns through 2 games, 4 in week 1, 3 in week 2. He's averaging 13 yards a carry.
Yeah, and 142 yards per game. He's been outstanding the first 2 weeks of the season on. And, he's tough to stop. And even when you got him wrapped up, he finds ways to break tackles, and he just extends plays. And like you said, if you're picking up 13 yards every time he
just kind of a possession-type passes. They're just not trying to do too much. They have character. They have Jimmy Garrett. They have Benson. They have the freshman, Judah Barber. There's a lot of weapons in that backfield. I'd say they haven't even thrown to my man Carl Taylor yet, who's a converted lineman now playing tight end. And if they don't have to throw it, well, why take the risk? And, maybe not the most exciting things you'll see, but, it's they're 2-0.
If it ain't broke, don't fix it.
And
right?
It's not broken. This will by far probably the toughest game that they've played this year, so we'll see how it goes against Tatnall. Nick, got an update to your right there.
So Dover jumps on the board first. Cape got the ball first. Second quarter about to get underway down at Cape Henlope. And Dover with a 7-0 lead as they start quarter number 2
and
down the beach.
Middletown, the Cavaliers scored in the early in the second quarter. May have been a defensive touchdown. I wasn't really trying not to pay attention too much, but it's 7-0 Cavs, although the Jaguars have, from Appoquinimink, have had the ball quite a bit down there. So those are updates. We'll get you as many updates as we can during the evening as we go along, but our intention, of course, is right here at Abessinio Field.
It absolutely is. And again, we'll get you some updates. We are the late kickoff here tonight on Friday night, 7:30 p.m.
That's 2 weeks in a row. I got to talk to my scheduling agent.
And before we move on here to some of Coach Lemon's keys to the games, another guy to look out for is that slot wide receiver, Chris Character. Such a big year last year at receiver, had big plays, made a lot of catches. This year, using him a little bit differently. 7 carries, just 1 catch for 28 yards. 7 carries, 110 yards, and a touchdown. And Mike, he's been doing it on the ground as well this year, as we heard you talking about at the top of the broadcast.
Yeah, Nick, just a note, looks like Kasim Benson wearing number 1.
I saw that. I was going to ask about that.
Just so we know, it looks like Seamer's on number 1, so just so nobody's confused, that's Character number 4. Chris is a little more of a power runner. It seems like they like to start drives with Character. He just gets in there and runs straight ahead. He's not making the dance moves that Benson does, but he moves. He gets positive yards. He's always moving forward, and He's got great hands too. He's a weapon on offense and defense because these guys all play both ways. So Chris Character is a character to look out for.
And again, both teams now at midfield for the coin toss. And Jason, we talked to Coach Lemon earlier this week and some of his keys where you got to play hard, but have fun doing your job at the highest level. Focus on each play, limit your mistakes, stay ahead of those sticks, and you got to win third and fourth downs. But one player he was concerned about on the other side.
Oh, absolutely, and that's number 2, Rashawn Lemons. His key is limit his big plays, and he can make some big plays. So, I think we got the game where we have the 2 best running backs, I think, in 1A going head-to-head here tonight. And you can't ask for anything better than that.
And Tatnall, speaking of which, has won the coin toss. They're going to receive to get things started here at Abessinio Stadium. And again, Coach Lemon's areas to watch. He wants to be fundamentally sound in gap control. Front 7 got to be sound, and obviously the secondary in coverage. And then get off the ball up front on the offensive line. Put helmets on helmets, as well as slowing down, of course, and he referenced this player by name. That's number 50, Justin Smith on the defensive line. You got to look out for him. So those are some of Coach Lemon's areas and keys to the game. Again, Tatnall on the coin toss. They will receive. They are in the white jerseys with the white helmets, with the black pants and yellow trim. St. Elizabeth's, as we talked about before, they're in the all-maroon jerseys, I believe, Mike Lang, for the first time all year with those gold helmets.
Well, they've the first home game, and they've had the maroon and the white and the white and gold. Nick, there's number 50 for you right there. A big dude.
Justin Smith, one of the players to look out for on that Tatnall side of the football. So we're almost ready to get underway here at Abessinio. It's Tatnall and St. Elizabeth's, 2 teams in Class 1A set to go at it right here where they met last season in the semifinals. That's the last time these 2 teams played, and I'm sure that's fresh on their minds. As we are ready for the national anthem, we will pause now, and we come back. It's kickoff right here from Abessinio.
First State Orthopedic statewide has 29 physicians at 16 locations. Our physicians and staff provide both non-surgical as well as surgical treatment for almost all orthopedic conditions and injuries. We are specially trained in the current state-of-the-art techniques. We serve as team physician and orthopedic consultant for over 20 high schools, Wilmington University, and many local recreational and competitive leagues. Our doctors are readily available to the local emergency departments as well as medical aid units and urgent care centers for consultation and treatment. Call for an appointment today or visit us at firststateortho.com. First State Orthopedic statewide has 29 physicians at 16 locations. Our physicians and staff provide both non-surgical as well as surgical treatment for almost all orthopedic conditions and injuries. We are specially trained in the current state-of-the-art techniques. We serve as team physician
and you can hear the crowd. It's that time here at Abessinio Stadium, a 7:30 p.m. kickoff between Tatnall and St. Elizabeth's, as both teams now set to head out onto the field here. With Tatnall 0-2, St. Elizabeth's 2-0. And again, if you heard Mike at the top of the broadcast, Kasim Benson wearing number 1 tonight, not the typical number 3, so for everyone at home. As Tatnall will receive this one, Rashawn Lamont's going to head back as the deep man here for the Hornets.
And Nick, that is Cole Soto who's going to kick off.
Of the week right here on Delaware Live Sports, and we are underway. It's a short kick, going to be caught at around the 35. They're going to pitch it back and try to make something happen here. Lofted over to Micah Stamper. He's going to try to get to the sideline, breaks the tackle, going to stay in bounds, pushed out at around the 32. Good containment from St. E's on the short kick. So here we go as Quinn DeVere going to trot out onto the field for the Hornets, and we'll get our first look at the Tatnall offense.
Number 14 right there on your screen, Nick. And, his first high school game was at Archmere. Not an easy assignment. And he did a good job moving them up and down the field. I don't think they scored that day, but, Archmere, they're the defending champs for a reason. And Tatnall did a great job battling Archmere. Just, just a little too much Hawks. But there he is, number 14 is the man you're looking at for, well, now he's splitting out to the right.
So here we go. Trevor Kamega, number 14 in the slot.
Oh, okay, I got my players wrong.
And it's going to be a little bit of a pistol formation open up here for Quinn DeVere and the offense. It'll be 1st and 10 from the 32, and didn't have to wait long for our first whistle of the night.
I don't see a flag out there, though.
And now it looks like they're just going to have Justin Smith, maybe, again, the center, going to have to come off the field, maybe something with the uniform or the helmet.
Yeah,
but
it sounds like an equipment.
So number 66 going to trot in to replace, and that's Hunter the senior.
And we may might block here. I'm losing my headset here, but that's all right. Nick, there's already a little discontent here in the stands.
And another issue here is they're going to send Chubb back off the field as well. Now Coach McMullen having a word with the officiating crew. You hear the Tatnall fans in front of us. They're getting into it as well, and they're wondering why they haven't run a play yet. But that's back-to-back centers, Mike and Jay, that have been sent off the field for the Hornets.
Yeah, and it's
sounds like something they may have done. Problem, and I'm just going to hang my headset up. It's something they have been doing. It has not been a problem. Maybe they're interpreting it differently.
Yeah, this is what we'll see. But here's the snap to DeVere. He's going to turn and pitch it to Lamons. Has to make a one-handed catch on it. And now he's going to reverse field. Makes a defender miss at the 35-40. Now at midfield, the 50. Benson trying to track him down at the 30, and he'll bring him down at the 25. There he is, fellas. Rayshawn Lamons making something happen on his first touch of the night.
Yeah, I wanted to watch this battle all night. These two great running backs. And there it was a screen pass. And once he got free, he was able to pick up a huge gain on 1st down.
So what a go. That's going to be, I believe they're going to mark it as an outside pitch. That's going to be a gain. A gain of 42 on the run from Rayshawn Lamons. A great way to start his night. And now he'll go out in motion here. DeVere out of the shotgun. They'll turn, hand it off to the right side. Some room to run, lowering the shoulder and taking a few Vikings with him. A big gain on 1st down for Micah Stamper. And the Tatnall faithful in front of us. You can hear them. They are ready to go for this one as the Hornets again are looking for their first win of the season. That's going to pick up about 5 on the carry from Stamper. 2nd and 5 now for the Tatnall Hornets, just sitting at the 20-yard line. Pistol look again for Quinn DeVere. He'll turn, hand off to Lamons, looking for a hole up the middle. Found a little one there. Able to get through it and pick up what looks to be close to 1st down yardage. It's going to be 3rd and inches upcoming for Tatnall here in the red zone.
Yeah, what a good opening drive here for the Hornets.
2 carries for 47 yards for Rayshawn Lamons. Micah Stamper, 1 for 5. And Tatnall, a pretty good opening drive here, guys. And they wanted to sustain drives. That was what Coach McMullen said when we talked to him earlier this week. Off to a good start. 10:27 and ticking. 3rd and inches for the offense. DeVere out of the shotgun, going to motion up behind center, looking for the QB sneak, but that play was blown up. Jaden Turner, the nose tackle, I believe, getting some pushback.
That's a great save.
So maybe lost a few inches on that quarterback sneak. I like the idea there from Quinn DeVere and the offense for Tatnall, but now you're looking at a 4th and about probably less than a yard here for the Hornet offense. They'll be back in the pistol look. Stamper in motion. Lamons behind DeVere. DeVere going to throw. That ball's tipped up in the air and falls incomplete on 4th down. And what was a great start here in the first quarter for Tatnall comes to a halt at the 20 as it's going to be a turnover on downs. That ball batted down by the defensive line there for St. Eves.
Yeah, so like you said, that's a good opening drive, but good goal line, red zone stand there for St. Eves, and now they get to go on offense. But if you're Tatnall, it's something you can build on. It was a good opening drive.
And Coach said you want to get off to a good start. You want to get that confidence going early against a team like St. Elizabeth. So 1st and 10 as the Vikings will take over deep in their own territory. Ball sitting around the 15-yard line. We'll get our first look at Cole Soto and Kasim Benson as they'll turn. Hand to Benson to get things started. And how about Kasim Benson getting to the outside, breaks a few tackles. Now he'll reverse field. Going to be contacted at the 40, taking some Hornets with him to about the 48. And what we saw out of Rayshawn Lamons on his first carry of the game, we see something similar there from Kasim Benson.
I'll tell you what, this is going to be fun all night if these running backs keep on putting on a show like this. I mean, that was incredible running by Benson. And you see a couple times he cut back and extended the play. And so both teams' offense have been good here at the beginning.
So that carry goes from the 15 to the 49 for Kasim Benson.
Nick, you can see how just he cut back so many times there, and what I was talking about in the pregame. It's just tough to bring Kasim down.
He is one of the most talented backs we have here in the state of Delaware. Orbit motion here for St. E's. They'll turn and hand it off, and wrapped up in the backfield. Big play that time by Rayshawn Lamons, doing it on the defensive side of the ball.
Yeah, the carry there by Chris Character. The defensive line just busted right through.
Loss of 2 for Character on his first carry of the game. And again, Chris Character getting some run with the offense here this season. Getting some carries out there, 7 for carries for 110 yards and a score coming in.
Nick, I'm thinking that the St. E's coaches are probably not real upset that Tatnall was able to drive the ball a little bit. St. E's just not been tested yet this year. And that's a good test for a defense that really hasn't seen anything like that yet.
Yeah, I agree, Mike. And like you said, that was a great goal, a good goal line stand for that team.
Now they'll hand back to Benson out of the I formation. And how about that play? Runs right into a wall there for Tatnall. I believe that's Lamons again coming up. And again, he's playing in the secondary tonight at corner, or excuse me, at safety, but they've got him up in the box because they know Benson's getting the football.
Yeah, and that's smart coaching. You want to get him up. You know, we said St. E's quarterback is 6 for 6, but he's only thrown it 6 times in 2 games. So, you know, the threat is not there. Or Tatnall's going to make him throw the ball and bring him up, and he's made a nice tackle there. So some of our better tackles tonight have been by Benson and Laurent. So they're doing it on both ends of the field so far.
And we highlighted them for their offense. They're both showing it on defense as well as offense here early in the first quarter. 3rd and 10 from the 49. They'll turn, pitch it to Benson, want to look, give him some room to operate. Cuts inside, breaks a tackle, and he may have first down yardage. He does as he scampers out of bounds at the 39. And again, looked a little bleak at the beginning of that play, guys, but Benson found a little bit of a hole, was able to slide through it and make something happen.
He does not need much room to make something happen, and that's a great run by him. And I like that call on 3rd down, get it outside, let him run on the outside.
It's never over for Kasim Benson.
That is absolutely right. Back in the I formation, 1st and 10. It'll be a fullback dive here up the middle. And going to pick up about 4 yards there. I believe it's Gavin Andrews.
Oh, yeah, Gavin.
The fullback.
We mentioned all their running backs, Nick. Gavin Andrews.
Yeah, Gavin Andrews getting to start at fullback today. You may see Nehemiah Hamilton. You might see some Judah Barber, but we know for sure you're going to see some more Kasim Benson. But give 4 yards there to Gavin Andrews on the carry.
He scored a couple times at Conrad, I believe, their first game of the season.
2nd and 6 now for St. Elizabeth. They'll turn, hand off, dive to Benson to the right side. And he is wrapped up and brought down. And again, I'm a bit impressed with this Tatnall offensive and defensive line here early in this one. Again, we know how talented St. E's up front is, as well as Benson with the ball in his hands. Tatnall able to make some plays here early.
Yeah, really have, and like you said, you know, the first 2 games they were going up against those lines of Friends and Archmere, who also have great lines. So this is the 3rd week in a row they get a matchup of tough line play, and they've come to play. They made some nice plays up on that line.
Just making this team better, Jay. You know, playing those teams like Archmere and who they play last weekend?
Friends.
That's no picnic in the season.
No, it's not. 3rd and manageable. Looking at about 6 here for the Viking offense. Deep motion for Benson. Soto going to roll out now, looking for somewhere to go. Fires across his body, has his man for first down yardage. And 7 for 7 now on the season.
It's my man,
for
Carl
Soto.
Taylor.
And there he is, Mike. You were mentioning his name, and he's going to answer the call there quickly with a catch early in this one.
Well, thank God, because now when I go over to St. E's and I see Carl, I'm not going to hear it from him about not catching the ball. I was trying to get some messages to Mike Lemon. Carl needs the ball, man.
That's good for about 10 yards.
I love that play call on 3rd and long. On 3rd and 10 last time, you ran the ball. So they're looking for that run, and a good job to mix the passes.
There's a whistle.
So as you mentioned, and one of the things that Coach Lemon emphasized during the week is we have a timeout Hornets on the field. We'll stay right here. As Coach Lemon said, you want to be effective on 3rd and 4th downs, both offensively and defensively. Well, tonight, 3rd and long, 3rd and 10 earlier in the drive, and then they're able to convert on 3rd and 6. So 2 third down conversions here for the Viking offense on their opening drive.
Yeah, and that's huge. And we said that for Tatnall. Tatnall's game plan was to sustain drives. Well, St. E's is too. And they converted 2 third downs on this drive to keep this drive moving. So, we saw Tatnall get down to the red zone but unable to score. Now it's, St. E's is moving the ball downfield as they are getting close to that red zone. So we'll see if the Tatnall defense can hold up.
Yeah, I'm obviously more familiar with St. E's. I've seen them twice. I've seen Tatnall too. But they're used to hitting big hits, lots. And here they're having to work a little bit more. So congratulations to Tatnall. They're doing a good job making St. E's, work to get these yards.
And again, if you're Tatnall, you want to, you got to go the full game. That's the challenge of playing a team like St. E's. We saw them get off to a hot start last year in the semifinals as well. They'll turn, hand it up the middle, almost had a shot at him, but Benson able to squeeze through and pick up some more yardage there on 1st down. They'll go now, it looks like, from the 25, pickup of about 3. They'll get to the 17.
I mean, even there, Tatnall's in the backfield. He's able to gain 3 yards out of it. He's just such a hard runner to bring down. But again, if Tatnall can limit him to 3 yards per carry, I think they would be happy.
Absolutely. Right now, he's camera issues for you is St. Elizabeth's now looking at 1st and 10 from the 11-yard line. They can get another 1st down inside the 1 as we welcome you back to the video.
Kind of weird there, Nick. I'm not sure what happened, but we hope it doesn't happen again.
I formation. Soda will turn. There's a big hole for Benson. Power to the right side. He's going to make a few guys miss before being brought down inside the 5. So a gain of about 7 as the ball will be spotted, it looks like, at the Tatnall 4-yard line.
To see what a workhorse this guy is. He just carries and carries. Never seems to get tired. Last season, though, he got real banged up, the sprained ankle. He missed some games. And, Nick, he scored 8 touchdowns in the game at St. Andrews last year.
Insane numbers.
Yeah.
And 7 coming in through 2 contests
He ran
today.
for 500 yards in that game.
13 yards a touch for Kasim Benson.
Tatnall bringing that average down a little bit tonight.
7 carries for 65 on the drive for Benson. Now at the goal line, Soto will turn. They go right back to him, cuts inside, and he's going to be stopped at around the 1-yard line. I believe that's Rayshawn Lamons coming up from the safety spot one more time, and he's looking great up there. They got him packed in the box.
That should be enough for a 1st down, so it'd be 1st and goal.
This has been the Seymour Benson show right now, so I don't
carries.
see any reason why anybody else would get the ball here.
8 carries, 68 yards now just on the drive for Kasim Benson. And again, 1st and goal. We talked about how they could get a 1st down at the 1. So now 4 tries from the 1-yard line for the Vikings here to punch it in. Back to the I formation.
I don't know who's that up front. Is that Gavin Andrews? You might see him get the ball here.
Or not. Turn, miscommunication there, but Benson trying to make something happen. That ball came out, and he reached it across the goal line in for the touchdown. A close one there, but Benson doing what he does best, and that's finding pay dirt.
Yeah, and like you said, the reason it wasn't a fumble because he stretched it over the goal line. And so that's a good start for St. E's. They get the stop in their own red zone, and then they come right down and answer and march the distance for a score.
They drove, that's almost 7 minutes they took off the clock there, Nick. It's down to 2:47 here in the first. They took over with 9:33 to go.
A long, successful scoring drive for the Vikings to open up this one here at home. The extra point is up and in, and we've got a 7-0 ball game as the Vikings jump on top of Tatnall here in the first. We're going to take a break. When we come back, first quarter action here, 2:47 remaining in the first. Tatnall trailing St. Elizabeth 7-0.
Hi, I'm Scott Kammerer from Solo Concepts. Today we're at Fish On in the Villages of 5 Points. Come check us out. Fish On is committed to serving beautiful, simple coastal cuisine in a cool atmosphere with a happening bar, spacious dining room, and outside patio. Popular dishes include the seafood stew and fresh oysters from the raw bar. Fish On's recently renovated event room and is the perfect spot for your next event. Fish On in Lewis in the Villages of 5 Points, open 7 days a week, best happy hour around. See you soon. Hi, I'm Scott Kammerer.
And welcome back inside Delaware Live Sports. It's your First Aid Orthopedics game of the week in Class 1A as Tatnall traveling to take on St. E's here at Abessinio Stadium. It was a long drive, guys, for the St. Elizabeth Vikings. They able to stop the Tatnall offense at their own 20. They take over on downs, and they drive it 80 yards for the score, and a lot of that coming from Kasim Benson, 9 carries for 69 yards and a touchdown.
Yeah, that's a good opening drive, Mike, and something I think St. E's enjoyed because the other 2 games they were scoring pretty early in drives, so that was nice to see a long drive, and it ends up in a touchdown.
Mike, I believe we have a score update from the Middletown-Dover game. First, I'll give you the one from Cape and Dover. Dover on the road to Cape Henlopen, 1:29 remaining in that first half as Dover on top 7-6. And Mike, I believe we have a Middletown update as well.
Yeah, it's 7-0 Middletown. They are really close to halftime. Appo just punted, but on the board, I don't see the clock. I just see the word timeout. So we'll once we go to halftime, I'll let everybody know.
Good field position, though, for the Hornets to open up drive number 2 here late in the first quarter. It's going to be 1st and 10 from their own 44 as Quinn DeVere, the freshman, sits in the shotgun. He's got Stamper to his left and Lamons to his right. They're going to turn, hand it off to Stamper. And he's got nowhere to go, as Mike alluded to. Slipped and fell there, and that's going to be a loss of about 5 on first down.
That's a tough one there.
And, Mike, you've been at the first 2 St. E's games. Would you say that was their longest drive play-wise?
Absolutely.
So I think that has to please Coach Lemon because, you know, they were scoring a lot faster in the other games. He wanted to see if his team could sustain a long drive, and they did there and then punched it in.
And again, you guys
they're
talked
not upset
it.
about that long drive, trust me.
2 big third down conversions on that drive of 3rd and medium, then 3rd to long. So an impressive drive from St. Elizabeth. Now to the pistol look here on 2nd and 15 for Quinn DeVere and the Tatnall Hornets. Take the snap, looking for somewhere to go. Nowhere, and the pressure going to collapse on him in the pocket. It's going to be a sack and another loss.
Yeah, that is number 66, I believe. 56. On the sack.
Stephen Goodman, he's got
is.
1 sack. That'll be sack number 2 on the year for the senior.
And the freshman quarterback had no chance on that one. Rush was in there in a hurry, and now it brings 3rd and long, and this is, I think, where Tatnall doesn't want to be in this game, or these 3rd and longs with a freshman quarterback.
No doubt about that. 127 and ticking. 3rd and about 19. Need to get to the St. Elizabeth's 46 for first down yardage. They'll put DeVere in the shotgun. Double slot formation with Lamons to his right. Or excuse me, that's Stamper. They're going to throw it to him. That ball's tipped up in the air and almost intercepted. Would have been a pick 6 going the other way.
Big
Either
Carl.
way, 4th down, and there he is again, Mike.
Big Carl Taylor's a flag, Nick. But that's Big Carl Taylor had it in his paws, and don't think I'm not going to let him forget this.
As Mike mentioned, there's some laundry on the field. Maybe they picked it up awaiting the call
I
here.
saw flags flying through my monitor here. Nick, they've gone to the locker rooms at Appo. 7 for Middletown, 0 for Appo. So a close one down there in West Middletown with Glenn Frazier.
It's looking as if this one's going to go against the offense, I believe.
Yeah, I don't know what the call was there, but
We again don't have any rough mics or anything like that.
Any-
Looked like was it a delay of game?
The symbol was a delay of game, which I don't understand. They would blow the play dead.
Yeah,
so,
they ran a full play there.
So I don't think it was delay of game.
Again, we don't have an answer
But
for you.
I don't know
sorry.
why he's. Well, I guess he goes to the home side. But I mean, I would, when you got announcers in the building, come to my side so we can see what the call is. But
it's about 4th and 25.
Yeah.
I don't know how you slice it.
yeah, and that's why I don't think it was delay of game because that play would have never happened.
So here is Spencer Nadig, the junior, to punt it away for Tatnall.
Would have been a big pick 6 for Carl and the Vikings, but you get to watch the offense again.
So they'll boot it away. It's going to take a hop at the 50 and actually take a St. Elizabeth bounce there. And I believe they're going to mark this one with good field position for St. Elizabeth up near midfield.
There's Coach Mike Lemon. I believe that's Mike right there.
And how about the field position here? I guess it bounced back and out of bounds. It's going to be
Yeah,
first and 10 inside Tatnall territory here.
It did kick back and came back toward Tatnall. It was a line drive kick, too. I thought it would keep going the other way, but little bad luck there for the Hornets, Nick.
And again, got off to a fantastic start. They won the toss. Coach McMillan decided to take the ball first, and they put together a nice drive, just couldn't convert deep in St. Elizabeth's territory, and St. Elizabeth's able to take it and go 80 yards for the touchdown. So with 1:01 remaining here in the first, it's going to be first and 10 for St. Elizabeth's at the Tatnall 47. In motion, Benson the tailback. Soto lost the ball, going to scoop it up, and he's going to be wrapped up for a big loss on first down. And that is going to be a big play that time.
23.
From number 23, able to get in on the tackle. And that is number 23, R.J. Moore, the sophomore defensive back.
Yeah, it looks like they lost about 6 yards on that. Fortunate they didn't lose any more.
That's a good job by Soto. I think he was starting to lose the ball as he was. I believe he was going to hand it off to Benson, and he did the smart thing. Didn't try and force anything, Mike. Just take the sack, hold on to possession of the ball.
Yeah, I mean, you don't want 6 yards is 6 yards. Possession of the ball is much more important.
It's going to be a loss of 6. Second and 16 now, back to the St. Elizabeth's 47. They'll turn and pitch it outside wide to Benson. And how about that play coming up out of the secondary and pushing him out of bounds again? Can't see to the far sideline.
It's number 9.
But a big play from Jude Maycole, the sophomore, and it was another guy that Coach McMillan highlighted coming into this game.
Don't see negative yardage for Benson too often, but Maycole able to find the hole and wrap him up. And you got to wrap him up because he'll just shake you right off.
Now it's poor in Tatnall. You had 2 positive plays on defense. You do not want to give up a third down conversion here, Nick. St. E's had 2 of them on their last drive. But this is third and Fenwick Island, so you need to, if you're Tatnall, you need to force the stop here.
Lost another 5 yards on that. So I believe it's about 3rd and 21.
I think you are correct, Mike. I just like that Fenwick Island.
I did too, but I'm just impressing my math teachers here, especially Mr. Ford, who taught me at Salesianum. With
Deep
my
motion
ability
for
to add
Benson.
and subtract.
Quick hitter to Gavin Andrews up the middle. He's going to be hit hard, but not after a gain of about 9 yards. Or excuse me, 10 or 11 there for Gavin Andrews. That time they used Benson as a decoy and hit him with the quick hitter up the middle.
Yeah, I like the call there by St. E's. Now you got the end of the quarter, so you can focus on, see what they want to do here to start the second quarter.
We will take a break as the quarter is coming to a close. On to quarter number 2. A great start here at Abessinio. 7-0 Vikings lead after the Benson touchdown run at the goal line. We'll take a break when we come back. Second quarter action right here on Delaware Live Sports.
Wraps, signs, banners, and promotional items that can help your business stand out from the rest. Looking for an excellent way to convey a professional image? Customized promotional products are the perfect way to target new customers, increase employee retention, and boost your brand awareness. Let the professionals at Cassidy Graphics bring your advertising ideas to life. Give them a call today at 302-326-2412. Again, that number is 302-326-2412. Again, Cassidy Graphics brings your...
And welcome back as the St. Elizabeth is going to send out the punt team here on 4th and 11. Ball spotted just inside the 50 at the Tatnall 48. We'll need to get to about the 36 for a first down. So they're set to punt it away here as Carl Taylor, I believe, going to be the guy to do it. And that is a good one. That one straight up in the air. Going to fall right into the arms of Rayshawn Lamons. Let's see what he can do with it. Makes a move inside. Breaks a few defenders, miss. How about 2, 3? Now at the 30. Cuts back inside, 35, 40. And my goodness, he is so dynamic with the ball in his hands. You talked about the fun we're going to have tonight, Jason. I'll tell you, Rayshawn Lamons, he's a shifty player.
Anytime he gets the balls in the hand, the camera's got to stay on him because it's a highlight reel.
And that's hard to do. I know that, Mike. It's hard to keep the camera on. He moves so quick. But a good play there for Tatnall to open up the second quarter. So clock stopped right now at 11:44 as we begin quarter number 2. And the Tatnall offense going to take over here at the 40-yard line. So 1st and 10 from the St. E's 40 as Quinn DeVere going to come back out onto the field.
That could be a top play candidate right there, Nick. That was an exciting run.
Pistol formation, 3 wide receivers, 2 backs for Quinn DeVere. They'll turn, hand it off to Micah Stamper, looking for a hole. That's going to be blown up the middle. St. Elizabeth's so good on that defensive front.
Yeah, I mean, this is, the first week they get Archford, they're tough up front. Second week they get Friends, they're tough up front. And third week is St. E's. I mean, that's three
That's
great
a gauntlet to go through.
Yeah, 3 great defenses to start the season. But, right now, they got to try and convert and get some of the first downs and keep their offense on the field here.
Gain of nothing on the carry from Stamper. 2nd and 10 now for the Tatnall offense. Same look here in the pistol with 3 wide receivers. DeVere will take the snap. This time he'll pitch it out to Lamons, trying to make something happen, but there is a sea of maroon jerseys over there.
Jimmy Garrett in on the tackle.
They're going to pick up a few, maybe 1 or 2 on the carry for Rayshawn Lamons.
Yeah, we saw that great return by Lamons to set them up here, and then great job by St. E's getting in there and making the tackle. Good job by Lamons. I thought they had him in the backfield. He was able to at least pick up 1 on the play, but they need to convert this 3rd and long.
Here we go, 3rd and long, as Jason just alluded to, at the 41-yard line. Need to get to midfield for a first down. DeVere, same pistol look with 3 wide receivers, slot to the right. They'll fake the pitch to Lamons, hand it back on the counter play to Micah Stamper. But once again, that Viking defense was ready for it. A host of maroon jerseys in on the play.
And a
I
couple
believe
of yellow flags, too.
Led up by Eric O'Neill, the linebackers. As Mike mentioned, we'll wait in here with the laundry.
My guess would be a hold.
I think
and they'll decline it.
Mr. O'Neill, we'd prefer if you called him Country. Country O'Neill.
There you go. Consider it
in fact,
done.
I just saw his mom just walk by here, almost sat in front of us and realized she's on the Tatnall side.
Again, looks like we're going to see the punt unit here for Tatnall.
In years past, was this the St. E's side, Mike? Or has St. E's always been on that other side?
Not sure, but the nicer locker room obviously is on that side. So.
I think they've been on
they
this
were on
side, right?
Yeah, I know Sally's.
I think when I played them here at home back in 2010 to 2013, we were on the far side.
Right. I thought St. Mark's and St. E's was on that side, and Sally's was on this side.
This punt got off the side of the foot that time by Nadig. So it's going to be about 15 or 20-yard punt for Nadig there, and going to be some decent field position here for St. Elizabeth.
That's some good defensive play there by the Vikings after they've given up some yardage on the first drive, to come back and really just hold them. The last 2 drives for Tatnall have been 3 and out, so good defense there for the Vikings. And good field position, punt not very far, and they seem to be bouncing backwards on them.
Big stop last time around for the Tatnall defense. We'll get you the offensive and defensive starters here after this play. But it's going to be 1st and 10 for the Vikings at the 44. 9:41 remaining here in the opening half. It's going to be 1 back behind Soto. I believe it's Gavin Andrews. The motion, they're going to hand to Character on the jet sweep. Looking to get to the corner. He does. Gets to the outside, and he's going to have 10-plus on that first down carry. Should be good enough for a new first down.
I like the call there, Nick. Like you said, everyone thinks it's going to be a run to the backfield. And then Character comes to the wide receiver position and takes the handoff and picks up a first down. So good start to this drive for St. E's. Like you said, last drive they went 3 and out.
Looks like an 11-yard gain.
Chris Character lost 2 on that first carry. That one going to make it up into positive yardage now on 2 carries for the senior Chris Character. And again, last year we saw him do most of his damage out wide. I mean, obviously in the slot, but down the field as a receiver. This year has 9 carries as a running back. Slot to the right, 1 fullback and a tailback's Benson. Soto, Flood, going to look to the right side. That ball's lofted in perfectly and caught for a first down that time by number 10. There he is, Thomas Schiavone. Going to catch that one for a new first down.
That's a nice pass right on the sideline. Tatnall could not get to it. But Schiavone right there made a couple, I think he had a couple touchdowns against Christiana last week.
you can see why he's 8 for 8 on the season now, Nick. I mean, he just throws a nice ball. But I think Coach Lemon does the perfect play designs on his throws and sets that up, and he's got good pass catchers. But man, he throws a nice ball.
And Jay, they're not interceptable. Right on the sideline like that.
Exactly right.
This time they'll turn hand to Benson. That's what they do best. As he gets through the hole, short gain for Kasim there on first down. And we're going to look at about 4 yards on the carry.
And like what I liked on that last pass was it was on first down, and now you're confusing the Tatnall defense. Now all of a sudden they got to look pass on first down, and maybe it will open up a hole for Benson or character, on the later first down play as this game moves forward.
Let's get you the St. Elizabeth starters here from left to right on the offensive line. Jackson Benjamin, Stephen Goodman, Mitchell Butler, Eric O'Neill, and Jaden Turner. Caleb Cole Soto at quarterback, Thomas Schiavone at split end, Chris Character at receiver, Benson and Andrews at the running backs, and Carl Taylor is the tight end. Another dive up the middle, this time for the Vikings, and nowhere to go. That's the big fella, Justin Smith, the district lineman of the year last year, comes up with the tackle.
He fooled me on that one. I kind of went with the quarterback on that.
And again, I believe that was Benson on the carry. Give him 3. He's up to 72 yards on 12 touches.
Still 6 yards a carry, which ain't too shabby.
And, if you look at it, he had 7 carries for 65 yards, and they've limited him on his last 5.
Yeah, they've done a good job, Tatnall, of what I think the only way to bring Benson down is you have to have a host of Hornets there to bring him down.
3rd and 3, big third down. They're going to pitch it out wide to Benson. Defensive end slips. Benson able to reverse field, and he's going to have some room to run. Gets to the sideline, to the 10, 5, spin move, and somehow he gets taken down at the 1-yard line. And once again, guys, it looked as if though that play was going for nothing on 3rd down. Able to reverse field after making a defender miss and making something out of nothing. A big gain there for Benson.
He's so good at that. You saw the spin move at the end. Those of us who see St. E's a lot maybe get a little spoiled, but what a treat for people to be able to watch Kasim Benson run the ball here for St. E's, and they have a 1st and goal. It looks like the 3-yard line.
First and goal once again for the Vikings, and as soon as we say they've got a hold on Benson the last 5, he breaks off a 20-yarder.
Yeah, and that's all Benson because, like you said, they had him to start.
Started left,
yep.
went right,
yep.
went back left, did a little spin move.
That's why you never give up when he's running with the ball.
They'll go right back to him, 1st and goal, and another touchdown from number 1 in maroon. Give him 9 on the season now. A 1-yard touchdown run for Kasim Benson.
Yeah, that's a good drive by St. E's. They mixed in the 1 pass play. Like you said, they've only passed 6 times coming in. They already have 2 tonight in the first half. But they mixed it in at the right time, and then Benson does the rest, and, it's get a couple early scores.
13-0 awaiting the extra point try for St. Elizabeth. They have a lineman walking off the field rather slowly there, at least a little bit. But they're ready for the PAT attempt.
Should be Cole Soto attempting to add that extra point.
Soto's kick almost got a hand on it, but up and in, 14-0. 2 touchdowns on the ground, both from a yard out for Kasim Benson. And the Vikings leading 14-0, 7:01 remaining here in the opening half. But guys, what have you seen so far in this one?
Kind of like what I've seen from Tatnall. They have some offense with Lamont, but not just Lamont, Stamper, and you see Quinn DeVere, and you see some things for Tatnall. But with St. E's, there's so many weapons. They're going to key on Benson, but they have character, and they threw to Taylor, and they threw to Schiavone, and you have Gavin Andrews running. Just so many weapons. We've said it before about St. E's. They have to stay healthy. And there's just so much there. But I think Tatnall's really doing a good job tonight, slowing down that offense as much as anybody has.
Yeah, and, St. E's has had 2 long drives, but they converted 3rd downs on both drives,
yes,
which is key. Yep. And there, Benson makes a 3rd down play that not many other running backs in the state are going to make. So there's some positives for this Tatnall defense. But right now, St. E, they need to find something on offense.
Big offensive drive upcoming for the Hornets. This one a slow roller on the kickoff. Going to be up and picked up by Lamons. He'll take a little stutter step. Now the speed. Has a hole down the middle of the field. Has to make the kicker miss. He does, but able to slow him up just a bit, I believe, was Soto, allowing the other Vikings to corral him. And I will tell you, you really have to be on your toes every time number 2 touches the football.
I'll tell you what, like I said earlier on that punt return where, Mike had to be on his toes because he was doing spin moves, and Benson, same thing here tonight.
I'm telling you, two of the best backs we're going to get a chance to see.
That's what makes this, that's what makes this game so fun because we're seeing 2 playmakers that when the ball's in their hands, they can make anything happen.
What I like there, Nick, Lamont's picked the ball up, and he stood there and looked and found the hole and hit it, and they couldn't catch him. Here he is stretching on the sideline.
Very impressive play. He'll get a breather here after the kickoff, just stretching it out a little bit in front of us. Out of the pistol, DeVere, first down, going to hand it off to Micah Stamper. And again, running against this St. E's defense is going to be tough, broken up in the middle. Let's get you the starters on both sides. For St. E's, at defensive end, Carl Taylor. He leads the team with 4 tackles for loss and 2 sacks. Jaden Turner, the nose tackle, has 3 tackles for loss on the year. Mitchell Butler's on the outside at D end. Then your linebackers, Stephen Goodman, Eric O'Neill, Jackson Benjamin, and Thomas Schiavone. And in the secondary, Chris Character, Gavin Andrews, James Garrett, and Kasim Benson. So 2nd and 10 after the carry from Stamper, then went for no gain. DeVere out of the gun. He's going to look to throw. Fires to the sideline. Has his man who makes the catch. And he's going to be pushed out of bounds. A gain of 5 that time as he's able to get it over to number 16, Eli Buffone, one of the playmakers Coach McMullen highlighted in the pregame.
Yeah, that's a nice play there. I mean, I know it's only a 4-yard gain, but it gets them in the at least 3rd and 7 instead of, 3rd and 11. So a really nice play. You can see that the freshman has a great arm, and he slinged that one in there.
Again, just a freshman is Quinn DeVere. Hoping, and again, we talked about the schedule. How about being a freshman and playing those 2 teams to open up your high school career?
It's going to give him some great experience.
Double slot here on 3rd and 7 for DeVere. DeVere, here comes the pressure. Steps up in the pocket. Ball gets knocked loose. It's on the ground, and the Vikings, I believe, are going to hop on it, as that's going to be held up in the air up top by Danny Henley. Or excuse me, number 69 for St. Elizabeth. But what a play by Carl Taylor, Mike. Once again, his name is being called. He's the one that forced the fumble. And going to be taken over this time now are the Vikings.
Yeah, I try to stay on Carl's good side, and for good reason. But they're right at midfield, good field position, 6 minutes to go here. And I believe that's the first turnover, right?
It is.
Yeah. In credit, I credit St. E's secondary. He had time. Couldn't find anybody open, and then the defense gets there, and Towns makes the play. But it was good to see that the defense did its job.
Interesting look here from the Vikings as they take over 1st and 10 at midfield with 5:58 remaining in the opening half. Soto in the shotgun. He's going to have trips to the bottom of the screen. Lone receiver Schiavone to the top. Benson sits to his right. They'll take the handoff, and they'll give it to Benson. And look at the speed. Nobody going to touch him around the corner. The 30, 20, 10. See you later, Benson. Touchdown number 3.
Direct snap to Chris Character and the handoff to Kasim Benson, and a top play candidate right there.
You heard Mike say it, Character, in a little bit of a different look there offensively.
Yep.
And he got the ball on the sweep with that speed. There was nobody able to touch him on the corner. Defensive end wasn't able to set the edge, and he was off to the races.
Yeah, I thought he was going to run to the snack bar and maybe grab a hot dog. But I'll tell you what an impressive play. I like the wrinkle there. I think it caused a little confusion with Character receiving the snap. And then, like you said, Nick, once he gets to the sideline, forget about it. That's a top play candidate for sure.
Kasim Benson now has 3 or more touchdowns in every game so far this season. 4 in the first, 3 in the second, and 3 in the first half here tonight against Tatnall. Soto's extra point is up, and I believe no good wide to the left. But 20-0, St. Elizabeth's on top with 5:47 remaining in the first half. And guys, we talked just a little bit ago about the last 5 times they've kept him in wraps. Had a great yards per carry through the first 12. Then from carries about 10 to 15, they did a good job of bottling up. His last 2 carries, last 2 touches for Benson have gone for touchdowns.
Well, how long can you hold him up, Nick? That's the question. How he's going to touch. He's going to run the ball 30 times, and how many times can you stop him? that's the question that not just Tatnall's going to face, but all their opponents are going to face. You know, and he hasn't. Fortunately for St. E's, he hasn't played in the second half yet this season. They just haven't needed him against their first two opponents, so he's a little fresher than he was last year when he was getting used. I think he got used more, believe it or not, last year than he's getting used this year.
A lot of work last year.
I think they've kind of learned their lesson that they need to, despite the fact that he's an all-state athlete, you know, he can't be out there every play of every game. And you can see the results. The man is just fresh, and he gets that sideline. You just can't catch him. I can't catch him. Thank God I got a video camera. It's the only thing that catches him.
This one going to take a hop once again, fielded upfield by Tatnall, getting to the sideline there.
A decent return. I've
They've had a few decent returns. Yeah, they've gotten good starting field position here on special teams. As again, you see the strategy from St. E's is, you know, our defense is playing well, you know, 20-0 shutout. We're not kicking the ball to number 2. No, thank you.
Nope, absolutely. I like that call there by them. Don't get the ball in his hands if you don't have to. But, you know, credit to Tatnall. They, like Mike said, they get a good return on it without him in the ball going to his hands.
Nick, how about this from Apo? They're trailing 7-0, but at halftime, Apo has 121 yards rushing. Middletown has 3.
How about that again?
That's the way if you want to be in against Middletown, you got to be able to run the ball against them, and that's a good job by Apo there.
They're about ready to start second half.
How about that finish to the Harvest Bowl?
Yeah, something
last
else.
week. Something else. First and 10 now for Tatnall from the 40.
We had a great one at Red Line as well, and a good one here tonight.
Wildcat, it's Rayshawn Lamons, and again, that speed is just so effective. Able to pick up 13 on the carry as he was playing quarterback.
I think there's some dirty laundry on the field, so it wouldn't shock me if this comes back.
And it looks that way in the area of holding. That's going to negate an 11-yard gain.
They've already pointed in Tatnall's direction. It is a shame, Jay. You know, the Hornets are so easy to root for, and it's so easy to like with Coach McMullen and the athletes here. Let's see what the call is here.
I believe
the coach is out in the middle of the field.
And again, we talked about it, but they've got some firepower. They've got Lamons. They've been able to put together some decent drives. Haven't been able to score yet, as the penalty is going to go against Tatnall. That's going to back them up. But, again, when you're in a game like this against such a team as talented as St. Elizabeth, you can't have those kind of penalties.
No, and, you know, I was just going to say how important this drive was for Tatnall, and you get that first down called back because of the penalty, obviously a holding call, and now you're backed up and your running back is off the field right now.
5:22 and ticking. They're going to turn, hand it to Lamons. Going to have to make something happen here and nowhere to go as he's going to be taken down for a loss of about 3.
That was number 33. I don't know who that is.
No, so they're going to get that was Ben Nerlinger, the junior, another guy that Coach McMillan.
Lamont's on the training table here, Nick.
That's what I said before the play.
I saw Jay pointing over that way.
Yeah.
Again, we don't have a sideline reporter, but great eyes up here in the booth from Jason and Mike. That is Lamons. He's on the trainer's table. Looks like he's getting that right ankle taped up a little bit there.
Don't want to see that.
We talked about Ben Nerlinger a little bit in the pregame. Played kicker last season for Tatnall. Now he's starting on both sides of the ball.
Yeah, you know, and that was the other thing I said. You know, you got a nice gain, but you got the penalty and he got injured on that play. So it's, you know, now you're tough uphill battle.
They get it to Micah Stamper here. He's going to try to make something happen. He's shifty as well and a great gain. Almost able to get back to the line of scrimmage. Still going to be 3rd and long, but that one's going to help a little bit.
Yeah, that's a good play by Stamper. You know, it looked like he was stopped in the backfield. He was able to get out and you know, pick up some positive yards. I know they're still 3rd and long, but 3rd and 16 is better than 3rd and 22.
So I believe they're going to give him around 8. So you're right about that, Jason. 3rd and still very long for the Tatnall offense as DeVere going to trot back into the huddle and they await the play call.
Now this is a tough play call, right? 3rd and 16, freshman quarterback. Just hand the ball off, or do you let him sling it out and try and make a big play happen? You're down 20 points in this one.
I'd let him loose.
I think that St. E line is starting to feel it and getting loose, but I agree with you, Nick.
Again,
you got to throw the ball here.
So, and you're right, though, Mike. That's a great point. Is we have a timeout. Tatnall. They're going to want to talk over this 3rd and very long here. With 4:19 remaining. Again, ball at the 35. First down sitting at the St. Elizabeth's 49.
Well, last time they had that 3rd and long, they forced a fumble by the freshman quarterback. So something to put, see what they want to do here. But I'm with you. I think you have to
So coming out of the timeout again, 20-0, 4:19 remaining here in the first half. And
You got some extra time, Nick?
and again, let's talk. Rayshawn Lamont's on that trainer's table, and again, hopefully he'll be okay to go, especially in the second half. As Tatnall looking at a 3rd and long, maybe he'll be back in the game here right now. I haven't seen him.
And the key with him too is he played solid on the defensive end, made some big tackles.
And special teams.
Yep. So we're hoping that he's okay and he can be back on the field.
Still on the trainer's table right now, so probably going to have to do without him at least for this drive and maybe the first half. We'll wait and see. So 4:19, 3rd and 15 for the Tatnall offense, trailing 20-0 here on the road at Abessinio. Double slot now for Quinn DeVere. Some movement on the line, no flag. DeVere going to throw, airs it out to the wide side. Stamper catches it, but he's going to be brought down after a short gain as DeVere able to complete his second pass of the day.
That's a tough throw to make because he's throwing it all the way across the field like that. So, unfortunately, you're not going to get upfield, but I like it. It's a nice, safe play, and hopefully you can make the defender miss. But St. E's is good at tackling, so now you're 4th and long, and St. E's is going to get good field position again.
It looks as if, though, the offense is staying out on the field for Tatnall. Lamont's put his helmet on, and he trotted back out there, so maybe look for number 2 to touch the ball here, unless they're just going to boot it away. But it's 4th and about 14. First down again at that St. E's 49. 3:33 and ticking here in the first half. 2 backs in the backfield with DeVere. He'll fake the read. Now he's going to fire to the sideline, able to complete it to Stamper, but he is brought down immediately as flags come flying. A big play right there by number 12, James Garrett, to limit the pass play. But we have some flags. We'll wait and hear this one.
Is it a hold, or do they get a roughing the passer here? Let's see what it is.
I think it was, I'm going to wait. But I think it might be ineligible man downfield.
Yeah, we're going to go head over and talk to Coach Lemon. That play is declined.
Yeah, that's a pretty obvious decline. Nick, we had a score down there in the Dover game. 20-6, Dover leads Cape Henlopen in there in the 3rd quarter. 7-0 Apo trails Middletown also in the 3rd quarter. We are the late game today. I don't think there's any other 7:30 game anywhere in the state tonight.
So. I think it's us.
We're
us versus the world.
3:21 to go till halftime. Yeah, and it's 20-0 Vikings.
Yeah, and then the 1 week, I think, as I was looking further down the schedule, the 1 week it's like 6 7:30 games.
I think last week, Jay, just felt a lot later when we were at Red Lion. I felt like that game started at 9 o'clock at night.
Well, yeah, because they originally, I know the timekeeper had the 7 o'clock start up there and had to come up and change it while we were setting up.
This time Soto fakes the handoff to Benson, draws some of the defense, but a great job by Tatnall to stay home as Soto only able to pick up a few.
That was Chris Character taking the snap.
Oh, there it is again. They're fooling me up here,
I didn't notice it till he stood up after getting tackled. So Character picks up, but looks about 3. Yeah, that's a little trickeration there from the Vikings.
And now it looks as if Character is going to head over to the sideline as if I thought he was going to play quarterback again here. He's getting the play call from Coach Lemon. I think he may trot back out onto the field here.
Here comes.
So Character might be playing some quarterback here the rest of the way maybe, or at least for this drive for the Vikings.
They've had some, for St. E's, the ability to try some things in their first 2 games.
Yes.
With the running clocks they've had. And, maybe this is the fruit of that labor. And there's a whistle timeout, looks like.
Yeah, I think the play clock was running down like I saw the back judge with his hands up there, and I think Coach Lemon saw it. And
Coach Lemon, Jay, was halfway into the play before that whistle blew. He was making sure they knew he wanted a timeout.
And again, we talk about Kasim Benson, you talk about Chris Character and company, but again, the big part of this St. Elizabeth's offense and defense, it all starts up front with those big men on the offensive and defensive line.
And there's Country O'Neill right there in the middle.
5 seniors, guys, 5 seniors across that offensive line for St. Elizabeth's, and that's not to mention the size as well. They are ready to rock this year, and one of the teams that are going to be looked at or maybe projected to make another state championship run here.
Yeah, I still think the 2 favorites are, I think, as long as they're seated on opposite ends, I think the settlement, from watching the games early, is that we might have the rematch of Laurel St. E's. Both teams have been impressive to start the season. But I'll tell you what, Odessa got a nice win at Indian River last week. Seaford is real strong. They got a win at 2A Tower Hill. to early in the season. So there's some teams that I think could compete with these two teams, but these,
This is the class of the division
yes,
right here.
Yeah,
But you're right. There's some good stories in that division, in that Class 1. Charter, Wilmington, you mentioned Odessa and Seaford especially. And it's good to see some other teams, making some noise. I think
Character once again in the shotgun jet motion here as they're going to turn and hand off to number 5.
I thought the receiver was about 10 yards downfield before that play started. But
Or excuse me, that was 6. Gavin Andrews gets another carry that time, picks up 3.
Yeah, we're seeing all different types of offense here
We
for
are.
the Vikings
And
in this game.
And Character has still been playing quarterback. I believe that's still him at quarterback on 3rd and 3. They need 3 for the first down. They'll turn and hand it off to Benson. He'll take a little stutter step. Now he'll turn on the speed. Down the sideline he goes. How about that cut inside? But they'll say he stepped out, I believe, on the near sideline. As this one just kind of stopped
that play
randomly.
just stopped. It was weird.
And the officials are having a word with 2 St. Elizabeth's players and a Tatnall player at midfield. That's Destin Hongard, as well as, I believe, on the offensive side, Thomas Schiavone.
That play just stopped. He must have stepped out of bounds. But how did he just stop the play?
It should be a first down here and a pickup of about 5 yards. We'll wait and see.
And this is where they should,
He just motioned first down. No, we're going to see.
Yeah, but I agree with the fans. This is where the referees have been huddling up. Give us an explanation of why the play was stopped.
I believe we don't believe they're mic'd tonight as
Correct.
they normally are.
Yep.
So the ball looks like it's going to be placed at I don't know, who knows.
For in first down marker, looking right at the 30. The ball's going to be spotted inside the 30, around it looks like the 27.
Yeah, so if the ball stays at that spot, that's where it'll be. But I guess they're going to have to explain to both coaches because there's a state of confusion. They explained to St. E's, and now they'll explain to him. And
Benson
we'll see what Coach McMullen's thinking.
Benson
here
was
as well.
in mid-spin.
Yeah.
And again, that's the one thing we don't have access to is official mics or that. That would really benefit us.
Maybe it was in an inverted whistle, and so on an inverted whistle they put the ball down where he last was, and that was the officials made sure it was like the 27.
Yeah, not real sure what happened there.
And now you hear the Tatnall fans. They don't know what happened either. They're confused at why
nobody
they're
really
getting
knows.
down.
Nobody knows.
We're confused. So I mean, I don't blame the Tatnall fans. St. E's fans are probably confused. But the good thing is the refs explained it to both coaches, and I didn't see any, big argument there.
Looks like Character and Benson in the backfield, Nick.
But the clock's running, so I don't think he was stepped out of bounds. That would have stopped the clock.
Character going to fake the handoff. Now he'll keep it. He reverses field himself now, trying to find the sideline. He does and gets out of bounds. That'll stop the clock.
The other thing is, Jay, if it was a first down, wouldn't it stopped for a first down?
They stopped it, but then started again.
Oh,
so
okay.
that tells me that he didn't step out of bounds.
Yeah,
or
that's weird. There must have been something goofy.
I'm thinking, if I had to guess, an inadvertent whistle.
And that happens again. Nobody's perfect, as we're used to saying. It's
maybe
tough to get out there and officiate these games. Just happy to have some officials able to do it.
Exactly right.
Seen some new guys this year, which is great.
Absolutely
awesome.
love to see that. So here we go. 2nd and 4 here, Jay and Mike. They'll hand off to Benson. Nice hole up the middle. That's going to be good for first down yardage.
I'm telling you, referees, the first measurement of the year, get you some free pizza. I said it last week, and we had some close ones, Nick. And,
we had one week 1, maybe, right? Howard and DM, I believe we had a measurement. Caught us all off guard. Here they go, up-tempo offense. Soto back in. This time they hand the jet sweep to Chris Character in motion. And how about number 2, Rayshawn Lamons coming up and making the play. Clock will continue to run at 1:01. Here's the first half continues to wind down. So no huddle once again for the Vikings as now the quarterback up under center. Motion is Benson. They'll turn, fake it. Here comes the flood pass again. Soto firing. Ball tipped up in the air and almost intercepted. Great coverage on the back end as they were ready for that play action pass. That time was the Tatnall defense.
Number 15.
And a big play, as you mentioned, by Chris Gordon.
He had it. I mean, he was falling away from the ball. Reached out. He was kind of behind the yard marker there, but he almost had that. And almost got mossed, and then almost came up with the interception.
So 3rd and 10 after the no gain on first down, the incomplete pass on second down. That's Soto's first incomplete pass of the night, of the season. Now,
And
that's it, man. Get him out of there.
So he's 8 for 9.
And if you're Tatnall here, if you can force them into a field goal, that'd be a win.
So here we go, 3rd and 10. Need to get to the 5-yard line. In the shotgun, they'll turn. Hand to Kasim Benson. Tatnall's all over it. Can he make a move? And he's going to be wrapped up by a sea of white jerseys. The ball is loose. Ball came out. We'll see who has it. And either way,
they're
though,
signaling 4th down.
So good effort there by the Viking offense to hop back on the fumble after it popped loose.
A timeout on the field. So St. E's called a timeout, Nick. Jay, what do we got at halftime?
Oh, yeah, you see the Hornets silent. They thought they had the fumble. They will mark it, as Mike said, a 4th down, so they'll say the Vikings hopped on it.
Yeah, and I think Tatnall got confused because after they signaled 4th down, they said timeout St. E's and pointing that way. So I think Tatnall thought that
it was the two-hand signal.
It was clearly a timeout signal from up here, but when you're down on the field, maybe you don't see it right away. But
I think we'll have top plays coming up at half. No, we don't have them. We don't have them, but they're out there. You can find them.
They're on YouTube if you want to check those out at the break. 20-0 with 25 seconds remaining. 4th and 10 upcoming from the 15 for the St. Elizabeth Viking offense. So guys, you're up 20-0 here. You got one play, maybe 2 left. You throw the ball here with Soto. You try to get in the end zone on 4th and 10. What do you do if you're the Vikings?
I might pitch to Benson, come this way with all the room. And he's got trips right. I can see Kasim Benson running behind these 3 guys. And if that doesn't work, they have a timeout left. Maybe then go for the.
Well, it's 4th down here.
Oh, it's
Mike,
4th down.
so
never mind.
If they.
Well, they can't get it first, but it's going to be
correct.
There you go. They're going to roll Soto out of the pocket. He's firing to the end zone. Ball up for grabs, and it's intercepted by Rayshawn Lamons. They're not going to mark him in bounds.
They're going to call it incomplete.
Incomplete.
But it's still turnover on
It's good
downs.
regardless as a Tatnall defensive play. So they're able to keep the Vikings out of the end zone there on 4th and 10. They'll get the ball back with 18 seconds to go here in the first half. As he was looking for Chris Character in the end zone.
I think Character threw it.
How about that? They're confusing me with these jersey numbers. You forget your binoculars for one night, and that's what happens. But, again, St. Elizabeth, though, throwing a lot of different things at this Tatnall defense here tonight.
But that's a great hold there by the Hornets defense. St. E's deep in their territory. Chance to extend that lead to 20.
Yeah, I like the call.
Yes.
And a spectacular catch. It's just unfortunate that he had 1 foot out of bounds. That was an incredible pick on the sideline there from the Tatnall player.
Interesting stat line from the first half. Lamont, and we've seen him do work on special teams. Just 3 carries in the first half for the talented running back.
And he had a couple called back on a couple runs.
Absolutely.
So, but here I would try and get the ball in his hands. I know there's 18 seconds left. What do you have to lose? They're going to take a knee, which I think is a smart play, too.
So that'll take us to the end of half number 1. All St. Elizabeth's here, though. Tatnall playing decently well here as well. A 20-0 lead for the St. Elizabeth Vikings as we head to the break. Kasim Benson, 17 carries, 153 yards, and 3 touchdowns. Fellas, what'd you see in half number 1?
Well, you saw Kasim Benson, what he can do. He made such a difference maker, but I liked – and as I said, I've seen St. Elizabeth, all the weapons they have, Character and Schiavone, Andrews, Garrett. And I don't know if Jimmy Garrett ran the ball, but yeah, they do use all of them, and they're trying to keep 1 or 2 guys from really getting banged up. And if you have the weapons, why not use them?
Absolutely right. Jay, what did you see?
St. E's, great first half for them. But I do like some of the things I saw from Tatnall. They were able to move the ball in their first drive. Their defense has been, I thought, really strong. Benson's going to have Benson runs, but I thought that was a good stop there. St. E's will get the ball to start the second half. Maybe Tatnall can get another stop and try and get their offense going. But I had some positive things for Tatnall, but a great first half for the Vikings, and you can see why they are number 2 in our Super 7 rankings for 1A.
Well, we're going to take a break here at the break at Abessinio Stadium. Third quarter coming up after the commercial break. 20-0 St. Elizabeth's on top of Tatnall. We'll get you some scores from around the state and back for third quarter action here in just a bit.
High Five Hospitality was founded in 2004 when 3 guys teamed up to introduce the Buffalo Wild Wings franchise concept to Delaware. They now operate 8 Buffalo Wild Wings, 6 locations throughout Delaware, and 2 locations in Maryland. B-Dubs has weekly and game day specials on their delicious food and beverages. Stop in one of their convenient locations today. The Stone Balloon Ale House features a unique blend of crafted food and an array of spirits, all flavored with a dash of nostalgia. Our culinary mantra is comfort food playfully reimagined, and we prepare seasonal favorites that strive to please the palate and resurface a memory. Limestone Barbecue, from our mouth-watering Texas-style brisket, fall-off-the-bone chicken, and St. Louis ribs. Southern-style sides, mac and cheese, baked beans, cornbread, sweet tea, and our homemade pickles. Be prepared, as your bread will be your napkin. Yup, we are that kind of barbecue. Expectation. You'll have a tough time choosing between our exclusive dishes to help get you through the day. French toast, French crepes, Belgian waffles, and of course, our famous Eggs Benedict. High Five Hospitality's mission is to operate 5 brands that serve high-quality products with exceptional hospitality.
I would always pass by Ferris on Kirkwood Highway, so I knew that they existed. We stopped in the showroom. We just clicked, like from day one. They did a total kitchen renovation for us. Ferris was so organized. They were on top of everything from day one. Always here when they said they would be, always on time, kept to the schedule. The level of comfort speaking to everyone that works at Ferris, they were just super friendly, easy to talk to. It was like they were friends, not, people coming to work on our kitchen. The room is totally transformed from what it used to look like. To have all this seating now and the big table, the bench seats, it's great. I love coming home and just walking through the laundry room into the kitchen every day. It was just a great experience. We love Ferris.
Welcome to Premier Physical Therapy and Sports Performance. We're a locally owned outpatient physical therapy practice with convenient locations in all 3 counties in Delaware. At Premier, we have experienced physical therapists with advanced credentials, but their hospitality, passion, and enthusiasm is what makes the difference for you. Find our convenient locations at premierptsp.com.
You may have tried physical therapy,
but have you tried Premier?
The things that matter most happen right in our own backyard. Our neighbors, our schools, the places we go, and the people we know. And now there's one news outlet where our story is told. Delaware Live. Locally owned, community-based news. Free to every reader, because Delaware's future belongs to all of us. Quality journalism we can trust to help us take on the day. Delaware Live. Our state, our news, our home.
Get the assurance that your HVAC system is what you need with Ambience. Ambience provides you with over 25 years of experience in the heating, cooling, and plumbing industry. The team at Ambience Heating and Air Conditioning provides high-quality residential HVAC installations, maintenance, and repairs in new and older homes in the Delaware, Maryland, Pennsylvania tri-state area. You may not realize it, but half of your energy costs go to heating and cooling. Make sure your energy dollars count and call us today for a free estimate. 302-239-HVAC. 302-239-4822.
Hi, I'm Scott Kammerer from Solo Concepts. Today we're at Fish On in the Villages of 5 Points. Come check us out. Fish On is committed to serving beautiful, simple coastal cuisine in a cool atmosphere with a happening bar, spacious dining room, and outside patio. Popular dishes include the seafood stew and fresh oysters from the raw bar. Fish On's recently renovated event room and is the perfect spot for your next event. Fish On in Lewis in the Villages of 5 Points, open 7 days a week, best happy hour around. See you soon.
Melissa Ellis is part of 4 Acre Realty Company. She is licensed in both Delaware and Pennsylvania. Melissa knows that being personable and patient is a key to her success as a realtor. Helping both buyers and sellers understand current market values and conditions puts them in the best position when making an offer or pricing a home for sale. That kind of high-level professional communication and her skill at being a team player put Melissa's clients at ease, knowing she has their best interests at heart. Melissa is also an athlete herself, playing multiple sports so she understands what teamwork means. She is still involved in sports, whether it's sponsoring, coaching, or being team mom for her own 2 daughters' teams. What sets her apart is how grateful Melissa is for the trust of her clients. She never takes that trust for granted. She affords all people respect and honesty and works hard to be the support system clients need and deserve. Melissa Ellis, strong connections, strong service.
Hi, I'm Scott Kammerer from Solo Concepts. Today we're at Lupo Italian Kitchen in downtown Rehoboth Beach. Come check us out. Located inside the Hotel Rehoboth, Lupo serves coastal Italian cuisine with fresh pasta made in-house daily. Lupo features plenty of unique craft cocktails and an extensive award-winning all-Italian wine list. Popular dishes include lobster bucatini, veal meatballs, grilled swordfish, and eggplant parmesan. Lupo Italian Kitchen on Rehoboth Avenue, serving happy hour daily and dinner 7 days a week. See you soon.
How you doing? My name's Mike Cassidy. I'm the founder and president of Cassidy Painting. I started back in 1984, incorporated in 1986. I never had the word no in my vocabulary. When someone called me to do a job, I always said yes, whether it was a struggle, whether it was 7 days a week, sun up to sundown, it didn't matter. And with that philosophy, we were able to grow to the size we are. We employ close to 80 individuals.
We really enjoy being in the family business. I look forward to coming to work every day, and it's so nice to work with the people that we work with in the office. We've really become a family with them. We really create a family experience around here.
And Cassidy Painting is a very diversified company. We don't say no to anything. We deal with everything from epoxy floors to painting buildings to spray foam insulation, spray fireproofing. If it deals with a coating, we can handle it. So when our customers call and they're under the gun and they know the need to get a job done, they know who to call because we perform. We've always been performed. We've never been replaced out of 37 years of business. For any of your painting needs, we can handle it.
High school athletics is not what it used to be. The sporting goods industry has been disrupted, adding to coach and athletic director daily challenges. BSN Sports stands ready to change the fundamentals of our industry, giving our customers the advantages they need right now. Your dedicated local sales pro is supported with nationwide team service, including sport and category experts. Get the look of D1 colleges and pro teams with our program that streamlines ordering your staff apparel, player gear, and fan wear. Stretch your budget with our fundraising solution. Free and ready in minutes. Our campus branding products are perfect for boosting school and team pride. BSN Sports has the advantages you need right now.
First State Orthopedic statewide has 29 physicians at 16 locations. Our physicians and staff provide both non-surgical as well as surgical treatment for almost all orthopedic conditions and injuries. We are specially trained in the current state-of-the-art techniques. We serve as team physician and orthopedic consultant for over 20 high schools, Wilmington University, and many local recreational and competitive leagues. Our doctors are readily available to the local emergency departments as well as medical aid units and urgent care centers for consultation and treatment. Call for an appointment today or visit us at firststateortho.com.
Hi, I'm Scott Kammerer from Soto Concepts. Today we're at Thompson Island Brewing Company in Rehoboth Beach, Delaware. Come check us out. Located in the Rehoboth Gateway next to Blue Coast Rehoboth, Thompson Island will follow the Sodell tradition of serving beautiful, simple food that will pair perfectly with our fresh homemade beer. Thompson Island is a perfect place to have dinner with your family, enjoy happy hour with friends at the bar, or spend a day in the beer garden playing bocce ball and ping pong. Thompson Island Brewing Company in Rehoboth Beach, Delaware, open 7 days a week. See you soon.
Your home, your community. It's not just where you live, it's where you belong. At Dover Federal Credit Union, we understand what it means to be local. We started here, and we're not going anywhere. We're as local as it gets, and we like it that way. We're not just a financial institution, we are the local credit union that you can trust. Local people, local decisions. Dover Federal Credit Union. Your home.
And welcome back inside Delaware Live Sports. It's your First State Orthopedics game of the week with the Tatnall Hornets and the St. Elizabeth Vikings. Nick Alessandrini alongside Jason Winchell and Mike Lang. And guys, it was all Vikings in the first half, though. We saw some flashes from Tatnall both offensively and defensively. Get you some of the stats now. As I mentioned, the Vikings leading 20-0. Kasim Benson, 17 carries, 153 yards, 3 touchdowns. Chris Character, 5 carries for 18 yards. Andrews, 3 carries for 16. And Soto, 2 for 3 for 21 yards. For Tatnall, Rayshawn Lamons, the talented running back and safety, 3 carries for 49 yards. Micah Stamper, 4 carries for 8 yards. And Devier, 3 of 5 for 12 yards. So again, guys, it's been the Kasim Benson show, but him and Lamons are putting on a show for all the fans here that are watching.
Yeah, a great first half for the Vikings. 187 yards on the ground, 208 yards total, 0 turnovers, 6 points off turnovers. A solid first half for them. Tatnall, 53 yards on the ground, 65 total. They moved the ball that first drive, and then St. East has done a good job since. But they had that one turnover which led to the 6 Viking points that put them up 20-0. But all in all, I think a good first half, exciting first half. We've got to see that I think they're definitely the 2 best running backs up here in 1A. I mean, they have put on a show here in the first half.
Yeah, I think the score's 20-0, but I think Tatnall, I like what I see. You know, this is a team that really has some weapons. You know, they've played up a couple times. This is a Class 1 team here in St. Elizabeth, but they're like Class 1 plus them in Laurel right now. So they're punching above their weight for the most part, and they're hanging right in there. And I think Coach McMullen should be proud of the effort his guys have given tonight. They were able to move the ball. Jay mentioned that first drive. They were down inside the 20.
To the 20 in the red zone. Yeah,
and just ran out of gas there on the 4th down play and just a 1 turnover. But you know, they've done a job. You know, Benson 17 for 153. You're thinking that's 9 yards a carry. Yeah, that's 9 yards a carry. He's used to 13 yards a carry, so you're doing a pretty good job on him. And, you know, they've held Character in check. They've held Andrews in check, you know, at 3 or 4 yards a pop. So good job here by Tatnall. And I think, you know, I know that they're down 3 scores, but I don't think it's really it doesn't have the feel of a 3-score game.
It's been
telling
pretty, you what we saw.
No, it's you know, last year when they played in the regular season, it was a blowout. It was 44-6. And it has not been that kind of game today, even though St. E's is up 20-0.
And again,
although they have looked impressive, St. E's has looked pretty impressive again.
Yeah, they have, as always. And Rayshawn Lamons dealing with that ankle, as we saw him near the end of the first half on the trainer's table. So hopefully he is all good and ready to go for half number 2. They threw a minute or 2 back up on the clock, let these guys warm up here a little bit more. But let's get you some scores from around the state of Delaware. Let's start with Odessa and First State. Odessa getting a 25-0 win over First State.
I think it was a 4 o'clock game today. So.
And then now we'll take over to a game that's currently live, and that's Dover and Cape Henlope. And Dover driving yet again late in the 4th, 26-6. The Senators on top of Cape Henlope in a battle of Super 7 teams.
Pretty impressive job there by Dover to go down to Legend Stadium and taking on Benny Mitchell and the Vikings and doing quite well.
Middletown and Appoquinimink, 14-0 Middletown in that one, an 86-yard touchdown pass, the latest score for Austin Troyer and company.
Let me give you a stat in that game. At one point, Appo had run 39 snaps to Middletown 17, and the Appo running back, Daniel
McConomy, yeah, I remember last year.
Had 30 of those carries for 105 yards.
He's at one point outrushing Middletown 121-3, but they trailed by 14.
Yeah.
Go figure. I think they had a punt return and the long touchdown pass.
And again, I think that stat from Kevin Treslini, the Delaware Online. He's over there checking out that one. Friends and Tower Hill. What a start it's been for Wilmington Friends. They continue to climb up those rankings. A 35-0 win over Tower Hill.
If you have not seen Robbie Tattersall, he's a multi-sport athlete. He's a senior this year. You need to get out to Friends or somewhere, wherever they're playing. You need to see Robbie Tattersall play this game. He's a quarterback. He punts. He does everything. He's a leader. His dad's the coach. Grandfather's the coach emeritus over there. Has been there right up the street here from Abessinio. Just like watching. And he's not alone. Robbie Tattersall is something special.
Yeah, he is. I mean, we saw him last year, and you could tell, and this year just even better. Over to McCain and Concord. This one was a crazy one. McCain leading 24-14 going into the fourth quarter. A 28-24 win for Concord as they score, I believe,
the last
21 points. Yeah, they all happened in the fourth quarter, I believe. Again, it was we were checking at the break. 28-24, 17 obviously unanswered at a point before that, but a big game there for Concord. You saw them. There's a video online of them celebrating with their fans. A huge comeback win for Concord over a talented McCain team that's been on a little bit of a roll here lately.
Yes, Concord needed that.
Yeah, big win for Concord. McCain had just jumped into the 7th spot in our Super Sevens. But that 2A group, so many good teams that you have to come ready to play every game at that level.
And again, just to finish off, Delmar 27-7 or 21-7 over Milford. Indian River 28-20 win over Brandywine, and Carabel 21-7 over Red Lions. So we are ready for second half action. Ball is up underway. St. E's will get it first. That's going to hop past Chris Character, who's going to pick it up with one hand at the 5. Now going to try to make something happen out of nothing. Looking for some blockers. Able to get to the sideline, and he's going to pick up about 20 yards there on the return. Is able to make something out of nothing again. Tatnall just unable to get to him.
It's nice to have that elusiveness.
Yeah, we've seen that a couple times now. With both teams, you saw Rashawn the one time, picked it up, had trouble with it, and then was able to pick up a nice game for Tatnall. And here, Character made something out of nothing and gives St. E's at least okay field position out their own 27.
Yeah, Character did a good job. Chase that back toward the goal line, and kind of a slow developing play. But like Lamons, looked to see where the opening was and really made something out of nothing, like Jay said.
So high formation for the Vikings as they begin the first drive of quarter number 3. 1st and 10 from the 27.
I'm going to have to rely on you guys here. I'm kind of blocked out right here.
And we have a whistle.
And now we have a whistle.
I think the lineman started in the backfield. When he moved up, they want a false start here. We'll see what they get.
St. E's didn't have a penalty in that first half, Mike.
That might end here. No flag. I think there's some disagreement here.
Yeah, certainly.
I don't know if I can hear through I'm outside the booth, so I don't know if I can hear from my microphone.
You can hear the Tatnall faithful here. They're going to pick that one up. So 1st and 10 from the 27. I formation. Benson the tailback. Soto under center. As they do a little bit of a shift here. Now I believe Schiavone in motion. They'll turn, hand off to Benson, looking for the power to the right side. Making some defenders miss. Finally brought down at around the 30. So a gain of about 4. Justin Smith in on the tackle.
Good job swarming Kasim Benson. That's the only way to tackle him. You got to get more than one guy on him. You're not going to beat him one-on-one.
So
Nick, he got 6 yards out of it, 5 yards out of it.
Yeah, you know, he's so fast that even when he can pick up 4 or 5 yards in a hurry before you even get someone on him. But like you said, good job of gang tackle in there by the Hornets, and I believe Lamont was also in on that tackle. So
not a shocker there. I formation again for Soto and company. Benson once more at the tailback on 2nd and 6. They'll turn, give it to Benson. Tries to cut outside. There's the speed. Going to be a foot race to the 50. Now the 40, inside the 30, down the sideline. Can they get to him? They finally do. But inside the 20, and a red zone opportunity upcoming for the Vikings.
He just makes something out of nothing there. I mean, I thought had him, pretty good, maybe a gain of 5 or 6, and it turns into a big play. And
yeah, Jeff, we got to do some math here.
that's why I had Nick Allison Jr.
Just say big play till we get the math right. What yard line are we on here? They're at the 8-yard line. He was at the 33, 17, 59-yard run there.
Yes, thank you.
There you go.
I was trying to do that math in my head, but I didn't know where they kind of forgot where they started at.
Got a little hog-tied there on the sideline, but held on.
So 1st and goal from the 8 now for the Vikings. Benson up to 217 yards on the ground on 19 carries.
A timeout.
And a timeout for Tatnall here. They're going to want to talk it over, as a big score here would put St. Elizabeth's well in control as they were into this one. But Tatnall won the coin toss. They took the ball first, so St. E's gets it first here out of the locker room, and they're trying to go right down the field. I believe they began this drive at around the 27.
Yeah, I was going to say at their own 27 after, and didn't take long. 2 runs, and they're down to the Tatnall 8-yard line.
That's right.
Nick, I'm trying to give the Tatnall cheerleaders some airtime here, and we got them in between cheers.
Just the downtime, right? Yeah,
I'm trying.
Some downtime in
I'm
between
trying,
here.
Don't forget, after the game, Nick, Mike, and myself will pick the first state orthopedics player of the game, and right now it's looking like number 3. No, number one tonight.
That's right.
Christine Benson.
He's just trying to stay incognito.
Number 3 on the field, but number 1 in your hearts, and now he's number 1 on the field and number 1 in your hearts.
Yeah.
Good. He's a good dude, man. He really is.
So clock stop for the moment at 10:42 out after the Tatnall timeout here. 1st and goal for St. Elizabeth's, 3rd play of the drive from the 8. I formation, Soto under center. It's once again Benson as the tailback. From the 8-yard line, they'll turn, give to Benson, looking for somewhere to go, and runs, I believe, picks up a few.
Yeah, number 3.
Before he's brought down.
Number 3, the one-on-one tackle. Good job there. Gain of a yard, I believe.
Yeah, nice tackle.
So now that's 20 carry number 20 on the night for Kwasim Benson. 218 yards, 3 scores for the senior. And again, he's had 3 or more touchdowns in now all 3 games this season. And looking for number 4. 2nd and goal from the 7. Motion, he'll turn back to Benson here up the middle. Tries to bounce it to the outside and can't do so. He's going to be brought down in the backfield or near it over there by Jude Maycole, I believe, again coming up from that corner spot.
Yeah, Nick, I think I'm not a football coach, but I think like a play action there I thought would have maybe worked perfectly.
I was thinking the same thing, Mike.
In fact, I thought Soto pulled the ball back.
I think there was a late flag thrown, but I think
let me guess, they'll pick it up. Or no, they won't.
Illegal block.
On Tatnall.
On Tatnall.
Wow, that's only doesn't happen on defense.
That's going to be a half the distance. It'll take it to the 3 or 2 yard line.
An interesting call yet again there.
And that's an automatic first down.
And I'm sure Coach McMillan going to
not in high school.
Not in high school.
Not in high school, so it's going to be second and goal.
And I agree with McMurray. He wants to know how you get a chop block on the defense.
I mean, it must have been a blocker, out in front.
It blocked below the waist, and that's what the referee is explaining to.
Again, it's rare on defense,
but you can't do that, just like you can on offense.
Well, we're seeing a little bit of everything here.
So it's going to, I believe, remain. It's
second down again.
Yep. So 2nd down, ball looks like it's around the 2-yard line.
Yeah, I think
you say half the distance.
Benson got to the 5, and Nick, there you see it, right between the 2 and the 3.
So here we go. St. E's trying to punch another one in. 9:30 and ticking here in the 3rd quarter. A 20-0 lead for St. E's here at home over Tatnall. Benson, 3 touchdowns already tonight. And as we have another whistle.
Timeout St. E's.
Timeout St. E's. So it's been a slow mover the last couple plays as we've had a timeout, a play, a penalty, another timeout. And St. E's, again, began this drive at their own 27 to open up the third quarter. Now they got it second and goal inside the 3.
Yeah, and like you said, it was the second play was a big run. And good job by the ref now. With the timeout, he can come over and explain to the coach what the call was. And
Jay, where are we this crew next week? Did we remember?
Well, I know where you guys will be. Unfortunately will not be there next week. But you guys, the Norton crew, will be up at Red Line.
Again.
As Milford comes to town to take on Red Line in a big District 2 matchup. Both teams were losing tonight in their District 2. Red Line got the win last week over Delmar.
Tough assignment tonight at Caravel. That's a tough place to play.
Yeah, I'll tell you what.
They're good. They're really good.
You look at the 2A, the top teams, St. Mark's, Archmere, Friends, and I'm not going in any particular order. I'm just naming them. Howard, Caravel. Oh, man, that 2A is going to be fun come playoff time again this year. Nick A., I'm going to make sure.
Is.
Nick H., if you're listening, we're putting in for some 2A games because I think that's going to be great.
Straight drop back for Soto. Looking to the end zone. Has his man for a touchdown. That's Chris Character down the right corner. And that time, Mike, you wanted the play action. They'll give it to you out of the timeout. And Soto's efficiency once again through the roof. He has his first touchdown through the air tonight.
Coach Lennon and I are connecting on a deeper level, Nick.
I love that call. I really love that call. Like Mike said earlier, we thought we might see it earlier on second and goal. They ran Benson, but because of the penalty, it set up second and goal for 2.5. It's a good time for a little play action fake. And
Soto, 3 of 4, 23 yards, and a touchdown for the Vikings.
I like his touch. For a kid who hasn't played quarterback before, just lofts it right in there.
Perfect throw, no doubt.
St. E's with that missed extra point last time. I believe we're going to go for 2 here, Mike.
Oh, I better get the camera on then correctly.
Here's motion. I believe it's Character in the gun. He's going to try, or Benson in the Wildcat. He's going to throw it, and I think he completed it. And they're going to say no on the far side of the end zone.
They're just trying to keep us off the top play there, that's all.
Benson out of the Wildcat reverse rolls to his left, fires to the back of the end zone, and I believe just must have had a foot out of bounds on the far side there. That's going to be no good.
I'll tell you what, St. E's play calling here, I even love that play on, like you said, out of the Wildcat. You're not expecting Benson to throw the ball. No. He put that throw on the money. Unfortunately, his feet were just out of bounds. But
that was a great throw by Benson and fooled everybody.
And we talked about it again, opening up with 2 teams that maybe on paper they're better than are the Vikings. They get a Tatnall team that's pretty good, maybe not quite to their level here on Friday. They're trying some new things here, and again, it's good to be able to test certain things like that as you get throughout the season. You never know when you're going to need stuff like that.
Yeah, St. E's, we talked about, some of these teams playing 2A teams. St. E's finishes the season at Caravel. And, they still have Charter and St. Andrews from District 1 on their schedule. So, there'll be some challenges out there, but, a win here tonight, and they're in great position.
9:16 remaining here in the third. As Soto, I believe, set to kick this one away. And we'll see. They haven't kicked it to him yet, and they will continue not to, as I believe it'll pitch to Stamper. Now they'll launch it to Lamons. They're going to let him make a play. Cuts inside, runs a defender over, and gets to the 37. And again, how about that? When you got a player like Rayshawn Lamons on your team, it doesn't matter where the kick is going. You pitch it to him.
He's getting the ball.
Yeah, especially down 26. Right now you're trying to make some big plays happen. So, not a bad idea. Like you said, most of his yards today have come on special teams. So
9:07 here in the third, and another drive for the freshman Quinn DeVere and company.
I think this is an important drive for Tatnall. Well, I'm sure what coach is looking for. We mentioned in the pregame, a nice time-consuming drive here just to get, and then you get punch it in, and it'll be a good start.
Confidence builder.
Correct.
That's what Coach McMullen wanted to emphasize. You got to build confidence early. What a move by Lamons on the outside. That's going to be good for a first down, a gain of 12 for number 2.
Yeah, that's a great play. Like you said, get the ball in his hands, let him make some plays in the running game here in the second half. Did not get many carries in that first half.
17 yards a carry for Rayshawn Lamons here tonight. He's got 4 for 61.
That's not too shabby.
Yeah.
Again, had a few big ones called back as well. That number might be a little bit higher. So clock continuing to run, 8:42 here in the third. 1st and 10 now for the Hornets at the 46.
But that's huge. You know, Tatnall had been struggling to get first downs after that first drive, and that's a big one right there.
Back to the pistol look, 2 backs. It's Stamper and Lamons who sit with Quinn DeVere. DeVere turn around, going to pitch it. How about that blow up? But Lamons able to stay alive, trying to bounce it to the outside. But here come the rest of the Vikings, able to come and make a play. Anthony Schiavone, the first one to limit Lamons that time.
Yeah, I wonder if the Vikings knew the play because they met Lamont as soon as the ball was pitched to him. And
they're watching film.
Yep, and a great job by him just to try and get out of it and pick up something. But what a play for the Vikings! Another big loss for Tatnall, and you put this Tatnall team in the freshman in 2nd and long and 3rd and longs.
It's tough. This is a really, I think this is an underrated defense.
Absolutely.
We talk about the offensive. It's the same guys. We talk about their offensive prowess, but Nick, they're not giving up points this year.
0 to be exact. I believe 6 a game.
Yeah.
1 touchdown a game for this St. E's defense, and those are late after blowout. Sack.
Nick, we lost the camera here for a second. Let me try this again.
There you go. You're
Big
back
play,
up.
though, that time. Talked about it. You can attest that to the defense of St. Elizabeth's. Their defensive line is so stout. And then into the linebackers, they've got 4 great ones.
Sorry about that. I don't know what's going on here.
That's the
2nd time we lost the play.
And that was Big Country on the
He's going to kill me. We missed the sack from
Eric
Country.
O'Neill, his first sack of the season. Here it is, 3rd and long. They give it.
It's a good thing the Country and I get along because that could have been painful.
So they give it to Stamper. He'll pick up a yard. So now 4th and a mile upcoming for the Tatnall Hornets. We'll see the punt team trot out as the clock runs 6:15 and ticking here in the 3rd. Vikings up 26-0.
Nick, still 14-0 down at Appoquinimink with Middletown on top. That's really a pretty good showing by the Jaguars against our top team in our Super 7.
Yeah, Bo, you mentioned a great showing there for the Jags. As now St. E's back to receive this one. It's kicked up. Going to take a hop at the 46 and take a Tatnall Hornet bounce to the 41. So a pretty good punt that time for Tatnall. That's once again Spencer Nadig, the junior. And now here comes the Viking offense yet again. And we'll most likely see Soto under center, but you never know. Maybe we'll see Character, Benson, who knows?
Yeah, I was going to say, it's a question mark. You don't know who you're going to see. But if you're St. E's here, you know, you're in a good spot up 26, get a chance to get the ball again at your own 42. They've had good field position all game long and, you know, a chance to add to their lead here.
Jay, I want to apologize for, again, I don't know what happened twice tonight. We've lost 2 plays with the camera going out, and we're going to get our best workers on this just as soon as we can.
Jet sweep to Character here on 1st down. Great block on the edge. Now going to cut it inside. Breaks a tackle. Breaks 2 tackles. How about 3? He's going to carry some Hornets with him. A big carry for Chris Character out of the slot here on 1st down.
Yeah. That's a big run. But like you said, he just didn't go down.
We have an injured player.
Yeah, you don't like to see that. A Tatnall Hornet down on the field. As the training staff going to come take a look at him after the carry from Chris Character as he goes for 15 yards and a 1st down. 5:34 remaining here in quarter number 3 at Abessinio Stadium. Thanks for tuning in here tonight. It's your First State Orthopedics game of the week. Again, a Class 1A matchup with Tatnall and St. E's. And Dover, clock hits zeros down there, 33-12. The Senders get a win on the road at Cape Henlopen. Big win for Chip Knapp and company here tonight.
Yeah, what a nice win. Like you said, a good big row win by the Dover team, and they've looked impressive so far in their first couple of wins of the season.
So they'll run the clock here now, 1st and 10 after the character first down carry. Character now, 6 carries for 33 yards, up over 5 yards a pop for number 4, including that touchdown catch at the goal line as well. Motion is Benson. They'll turn, hand it to him. It's going to counter back the other way with Chris Character, but what a read and what a tackle. Rayshawn Lamons maybe saving a touchdown there as the counter. There was a big hole. He comes up and makes the play, maybe to save it.
I love that play call by St. E's. You hand the ball to Benson, and everyone thinks, all right, he's going, and they handed the Character. What a play by Lamons, though. He did not fool, and like you said, he doesn't make that tackle. I think Character breaks that one.
And again, you know, that's the play I believe used to see out of William Penn back when I was at St. Mark's. I remember watching the film on that. That's the counter gap back the other way. And that time, Lamons in a great position to make the play. And as we both alluded to, I think that was going for 6 had he not made the tackle.
Nick, that sounds like the most Delaware play ever. The most wing tee play ever.
4:20 and ticking here, quarter number 3. 26-0 in favor of St. E's. They're looking at a 2nd and long from the Tatnall 43. They'll turn, give to Benson. Once again, a Hornet comes free, can't make the tackle, but he's going to be brought down at the next level. Lamons once again in on the tackle. As the Tatnall cheerleaders are throwing out some stuff into the stands.
Yeah, up here. That's candy, I think. I don't know. It's not even Halloween.
I just heard all the cheering.
You know, exactly. You never know nowadays, right? Last time we heard noise like that
here
at Abessinio didn't go over well.
But this time it was just the cheerleaders, and I like that. Your students are out here supporting your team. Throw some stuff up for them.
Give them a little love.
So here we go.
I lost track of the play. I was looking at candy flying everywhere.
3rd and 7. Can they convert? It's a quick hitter. Up the middle, I believe that's Gavin Andrews. And he's going to be close to that first down marker on the 3rd down carry, 3:18. The clock will stop for a moment.
We might get that measurement.
And I think he's going to have enough, and it's going to be a first down.
They kept on moving that.
For St. E's, yes, they did.
Somebody's opposed to free pizza.
A gain of 8 for Gavin Andrews. He's up to 4 carries for 24 yards.
Now that it was pretty generous. Because he was stopped at the chains.
Yeah, they marked him 1.5 yards past the chain. Now at the 33-yard line of Tatnall.
1st and 10 for the Vikings. I formation. Once again, Benson the tailback. They'll give it to him. Up the middle he goes. Picks up a few before being wrapped up at the line of scrimmage. I believe that time it was number 8 in on the stop. That's Eli Halverson Frazier.
Nick, a couple big games tomorrow. The usual tenant here, Salesianum, will be at St. George's at noon, and then tomorrow, 5 o'clock right here, it's going to be at Archmere at Howard, a Class 2A Titanic showdown. And I know there's other games in the morning. It's a big day. Jay said more Saturday than usual.
And don't forget, tomorrow, Hampton taking on Delaware at the Tub, Delaware Stadium, 6 o'clock kickoff. First CAA matchup of Hampton's young CAA career. They'll turn, hand it off to the right side on 2nd down and 6.
And we might have our first Viking penalty of the game.
I think you're right.
Yeah,
you saw a flag come in there late.
It looked like a hold, but
I believe that was Chris Character on the carry. That ain't going to count.
Benson, he looks a little upset about the call, and now you hear the Tatnall fans. It is a penalty against St. E's.
I think they called it on Seymour. He's not agreeing with that.
Even their coaching staff was clapping. St. E's played a clean game here tonight, but that time they did get caught. And I thought I could see it from up here when the play happened, so I thought it was a good call.
Nick, there are the culprits throwing the candy into the stands. And
some of the students have made their way up to the fence just in case they start throwing it again.
They did not reach the platform up here.
Brings up a 2nd and long now for the Vikings.
And I know we talk about it. The Vikings are such a good team, especially in Class 1A. They could play up a class probably if they wanted to this year.
They did already against Conrad in the opener, and they
won handily.
Yeah, looked pretty good.
And that's why I just want to say I am still impressed with this youthful Tatnall team, even though they're making it at least a little bit tough here on St. Elizabeth's tonight.
Yeah, and I think Tatnall's going to be in the playoffs again, so it's a good test. They can see what they have to improve on as they move on in the season. But you know what I like about Tatnall, and I'll say I said this at the pregame show, is their strength of schedule is so strong that, as long as they finish in the top 4 in District 1, which I believe they will, they're going to have a good seed in the playoffs because they play so many good teams that their bonus points are going to rack up.
I believe that was Benson on the carry that time as well. That's going to bring up 3rd and 12 here for the Vikings. 21 carries, 225 yards, 3 touchdowns for Kasim Benson.
Pretty workmanlike effort for Kasim.
This could be the final play of the 3rd quarter. Benson drops the mouthpiece or towel. He'll pick it back up, ready to roll. Here's Soto out of the shotgun. He'll fire. Has his man. It's Anthony Schiavone, who's able to pick up some yardage. He's going to take some Hornets with him. They can't bring him down. And he's going to be brought down close to that 1st down marker. Here come flags flying from every which way, hitting some players on the way.
If I had to guess, my guess would probably be a face mask as they were trying to wrestle him down, but I am up here.
12 seconds now. Clock stopped in the 3rd.
So you're probably going to get one more play here in the 3rd, unless they start that clock again.
So the Tatnall faithful seem to think it's against St. Elizabeth.
Yeah, they're St. Elizabeth's marking back.
And they are right. Personal foul against St. Elizabeth. So negate the completion for Soto, negate the catch for Schiavone. And now it's going to be...
And the down counts because I think it was a personal foul after the play. So
4th down and about 18.
I think there's a 15-yard penalty. Was, probably from the end of the run, Mike. They were just short of the 1st down, so it's probably going to be about 4th and 15.
And the clock will run. We'll see if the Vikings go and
just
run another play. And they're going to let it run out. Vikings in full control here in our First State Orthopedics game of the week. A 26-0 lead over visiting Tatnall. We're going to the 4th here at Abessinio Stadium. We'll be right back.
I would always pass by Ferris on Kirkwood Highway, so I knew that they existed. We stopped in the showroom. We just clicked, like from day one. They did a total kitchen renovation for us. Ferris was so organized. They were on top of everything from day one. Always here when they said they would be, always on time, kept to the schedule. The level of comfort speaking to everyone that works at Ferris, they were just super friendly, easy to talk to. It was like they were friends, not, people coming to work on our kitchen. The room is totally transformed from what it used to look like. To have all this seating now and the big table, the bench seats, it's great. I love coming home and just walking through the laundry room into the kitchen every day. It was just a great experience. We love Ferris. I would always pass by Ferris on Kirkwood Highway, so I knew that they existed. We stopped in the showroom. We just clicked, like from day one. They did a total kitchen renovation for us. Ferris was so organized.
On to quarter number 4 here at Abessinio Stadium. The Vikings leading the Hornets 26-0. Nick Allison journey alongside Jason Winchell and Mike Lang. It's week number 3 here in Delaware High School football. The Vikings looking to improve to 3-0, and guys, they're on the right track so far here tonight.
Yeah, absolutely. What a performance by St. E's here tonight. Benson, big game. But, Tatnall here, I think they forced a punt here for St. E's. So.
Again, should see Carl Taylor out to punt this one away. Carl Taylor was having that tip pick 6 earlier in the ball game.
Yeah.
As this one's going to be straight up. That's a pretty good punt. It's going to take a hop inside the 20-yard line as Stamper going to walk over to it. and it'll be touchdown around the 17, 18-yard line. So to begin the fourth, 11:40, we'll get a look at the freshman Quinn DeVere, Rayshawn Lamons, and we'll see if Tatnall can score their first touchdown of the season here against this very, very talented Viking defense.
There's a penalty on St. Elizabeth.
Yes.
A hold.
Another flag, you don't say.
If it's a hold,
They might make him repunt
I
it.
would make him repunt it because that was only about a 20-yard punt, which I think he was trying to do on purpose because they were at the 40.
I think they are going to re-kick it.
Yeah, I don't blame him.
Nick, a final in Middletown. It's the Cavaliers 14, Appo, no score. That's not bad if you're Appoquinimink to hold Middletown to 14 points. And congratulations for them. Congratulations to the Cavaliers, another win.
And our crew will be down there on, I believe, October 14th when the
correct.
Sally's comes down. We mentioned we have Milford Red Line, but after that we have Archmere St. Mark's, followed by Sally's Middletown, followed by St. Mark's DMA. So 3 weeks for the Northern crew where we'll have some big matchups.
No score here, but Smyrna defeats Caesar Rodney tonight.
So, set to punt it away again is Taylor. Take two. It'll hop straight up in the air and caught by the Vikings at around the
another
25.
Flag down. Flag at the 42-yard line.
This might be rough in the punter. I wasn't looking, but
They're going over to talk to Coach Lemon.
They're going to have to take a big hit to knock down Carl Taylor.
Get that right.
Back there.
He's a mild-mannered
it
guy,
was
too.
actually
It's on St. E's. Carl's a mild-mannered guy.
So St. E's, who had no penalties through 2 and
I'll make him kick it
quarters.
again.
I would too.
Because they're at the 20. That was about a net gain of 5 yards for
They got
Tatnall.
5 back there on the second kick.
And they are going to say first down, so it looks like Tatnall has just declined the penalty.
So they'll start this one from it looks like the 30.
Oh, they're going to enforce it on the punt.
Did they ask it for a punt on the punt?
Lamont's going to trot out to the huddle late. Not sure if that means he's got the play or maybe he's at quarterback, and it looks as if he will be. Quinn DeVere now on the sideline talking to Coach McMullen here.
What is it? Going to run the Wildcat maybe?
Let's find out. As it looks like there's a miscommunication. They need a lineman or they need another player.
And there's a timeout. As you mentioned, they were not quite ready to go there.
10 men on the field for Tatnall. They'll call a timeout. As trotting on late is Matt Homer.
It's tough enough to beat St. E's with 11 men.
Again, Matt and Jeff Homer, the twins starting here, both seniors. Matt, second team all-conference last season. Jeff, he's on the other side at defensive end. Also, both of them up front offensively.
The referee actually pointed towards St. Elizabeth's timeout, and the scoreboard took it as a St. Elizabeth's timeout, but I could swear it was Tatnall. But
I thought Tatnall called it, but
the press box guy even said St. E's, but that's just because the ref pointed that way.
I think they're discussing the guys doing the chain gang here. You never know what they're talking about. We've been on enough sidelines, fellas, and they talk about all kinds of stuff down there. Some of it football, and some of it not football.
That they do.
A couple of weeks ago at the St. Mark's Red Line, I was talking to a couple of those guys down there.
That's right. Yeah.
They asked if they were eligible for the pizza if they went out and just measured without the referee's consent.
You know who they need Swifty on the crew, because you know he'd want some pizza.
Yeah.
First down for the Hornets.
Another whistle.
Ah, there's a shocker.
Nick, you might be reporting straight to Tubby Raymond Field from here. And they're going to march it back.
Yeah, well, we have a minute. It's going to be against St. E's yet again.
It was actually on Tatnall.
Excuse me, I mean against Tatnall. My mistake.
Equipment violation, so.
We saw that earlier in the game with a few warnings. But again, if it's going to be first and about 15 now for the Tatnall offense. Again, DeVere, he's on the sideline. Looks like Rayshawn Lamont's going to take the snap out of the Wildcat here with 3 receivers. Lob snap to him. Lamons is going to throw. This one's deep down the middle of the field and almost had his intended target, but great coverage down the field for that St. Elizabeth's defense.
He can do more than run, Nick.
Whenever you need a play, you got to put him at that position.
Yeah. Wow, that was a great throw. I mean, I know it was slightly overthrown, but, man, he showed his arm there.
It's like Character and Jimmy Garrett on the coverage, along with who is Who is that?
I know Gavin Andrews is the starting strong safety.
Gavin Andrews, you're right, number 6.
So that one falls incomplete for Lamont's first pass of the ball game. He's still got 5 carries for 57 yards.
Threw that ball about 40 yards in the air, just over the outstretched arms of the receiver.
And again, I believe it's still a different quarterback in here this time for Tatnall. I believe DeVere's still on the sideline. They'll turn. It's going to be Micah Stamper. He'll fake the belly read to Lamons. Now he's got room to run. 40, 50. It's speed down the sideline. Benson going to catch him, though, at the 27. And if Benson didn't have that speed that he's capable of, we might have seen Micah Stamper for a 60-yard score.
Is that the Stamper Scamper? Is that what we're looking for? He's grabbing his hip there. But what a great run for Stamper. He don't want to come out. You know that.
A big run for Stamper. He's brought down. They're going to mark it at the 28.
Coaches they're just out there giving the play.
Good play call.
Lamons.
I believe they took the snap at around the 40.
Yeah, they're all the way down at the 28, so how you slice it, that's a long run.
So 32 yards, I believe, on the carry for Stamper.
That would, if it was from the 40, yes, it would be 32. It seemed longer, and Kasim Benson chasing him down. That's a
How about
pretty,
that?
pretty
Yeah.
good effort
Had to
there.
turn on the jets to get to him. Both of those guys got speed.
Nick's got replay there next to him now.
Always helps. So 1st and 10.
That's Lamons.
For Tatnall, it's Lamons now going to try to follow Micah Stamper around the outside. Has some room to run, gets to that sideline, and he'll just step out of bounds after a good gain. Looks about 10 or 11 on that carry.
Yeah, a couple nice runs here by the Hornets. Nice little drive here.
I like what I'm seeing from Tatnall.
I do too, Mike.
And that's going to be enough for a first down for Lamons. Again, just 6 carries. I know a few have been called back on penalties, but 6 carries in the game for Rayshawn Lamons.
A good chance here for the Hornets. They were here in their opening drive and
yeah, right around that exact same
yep,
spot.
and was not able to punch it in. Turned it over on down. So this is huge here if they can find a way to get in the end zone. Like Mike said, first of all, they're playing really well here tonight. And a lot of things I like, but it also could give them some confidence moving forward.
In the shotgun here goes Tatnall. It's still a combination of Micah Stamper and Rayshawn Lamons at quarterback.
We have a stoppage.
And a false start against Tatnall. Penalties are piling up here in the second half.
We've had 2 penalties on this camera.
I think the flags are just falling out of the officials' pockets at this point. Take number 2. 1st and 15 here, 10:24 and ticking as Tatnall looking for that first touchdown of the season. Again, 3 tough games for the Hornets to open up here in 2022. Lamons out of the shotgun, takes the snap. He's going to roll right. Now he just may tuck it and run. Breaks some tackles. How about 3 of them? Tries to cut inside, runs to his own man. He's still on his feet. To the 10. He's still in bounds. Can he get there? He's going to dive for the goal line, and he's going to be marked short.
Can we still get that a top play?
That's a top play right
Absolutely
there.
is. Rayshawn Lamons showing off
Somebody marked the tape.
the running ability and almost coming up with the Hornets' first touchdown of the
man.
season.
I think he might still be down over there, but he took a licking and kept on ticking, and he refused to go down. So that's with 9:57 to go to find this one on the Nick's looking at the timestamp.
He should be, I believe, marked down at the 3-yard line. Is Rayshawn Lamons.
I'll tell you what, that was a top play.
I mean, had me rooting for a touchdown there.
Yeah.
You know?
I'll tell you,
He broke like 5 tackles on that play.
and he ran into his own play.
He ran into his own guy.
But that's the thing with him back there throwing the ball. He can make something happen.
I mean, we saw what he could do with a punt return. They're basically snapping him the ball and say, here, either throw it or run it as if it's a punt return.
What a twisting, spinning, bumping run there by Lamons.
So they're going to talk about this one. He was brought down at the 3-yard line. That's going to be a gain of 20.
He's coming up. The first time the helmet's been off all night.
He's coming off.
He's coming off.
And there was somebody on St. E's side.
And there it looks like it's that right ankle that we alluded to earlier. He was getting it taped up at the end of the first half. He looked a little shaken up, and he's limping on his way to the near sideline here in front of us. It looks again like it's that right ankle.
One of the runs of the season right there.
Again, you don't like to speculate. Hope he's okay. Such a talent.
Oh, yeah.
For Tatnall. Now it's going to be out of the gun. I believe this is Micah Stamper who's going to take the shotgun snap, trying to penetrate the goal line. But he's going to be stopped short.
Yeah, Country got a hold of him, and then a couple other Vikings jumped in. I thought we had another injury, but looks like everybody is getting up.
And you know, we're a flag. We're used to seeing some of the flags here.
No
in
more
the
flags.
second half.
9.5 to go here in the fourth quarter.
So Nerlinger is going to come in for Le Mans. As you see, the kicker for Tatnall, David Corrado, the junior, start to get warm a little bit here on the sideline. Maybe we'll see him try a field goal. But it's going to be 2nd and goal from the 2. Micah Stamper's at quarterback. He'll take the snap. He lost it. Ball's on the ground.
I think he got it back.
And he did get it back.
He saw number 55 for the Vikings. That is, who's 55?
55 is Jackson Benjamin.
Jackson Benjamin was right there, ready to jump on that one, but Stamper able to get it back.
So here comes the freshman DeVere now back into the game as Stamper will come off. So now the Tatnall offense without Rayshawn Lamons and Micah Stamper, two of the more talented skill position players on the Hornets roster. And now it's going to be DeVere in the shotgun with Nerlinger to his right. Out in the slot for Tatnall's Trevor Kamega. Down to the near sideline is another receiver split wide. DeVere going to look to the one-on-one matchup. He's going to throw it up in the air. Ball's up and intercepted, or at least knocked down here. I believe it was picked off in a touchback, and not the way you wanted to end that drive for Tatnall, who was looking to capitalize. And after putting together a nice drive, looking for that first touchdown of the season, the Vikings say no thanks.
Yeah, good job there by Chris Character. May have pushed off just a little to get position, but Character made a nice play there to get them the ball. And Tatnall, so close, but St. E's tightens up.
I like that play call. It's one-on-one matchup. Throw it up for grabs. See if your receiver can come down with it. Like Mike said, Character made a great play, and he's a special player, you know. But I still think you have to take a shot there on that one-on-one coverage, and I thought it was a decent pass. It kind of just hung up a little
just
too
a
long.
little bit short from DeVere. Just want to put that one over the right shoulder into the back of the end zone. Just left it a little bit short for the freshman, but as we talked about for DeVere, first 3 games, you've got Archmere, St. E's, and Wilmington Friends as your first 3 high school contests. That can be tough on a young quarterback. And we're going to have a stoppage down on the field. Timeout, St. Elizabeth's, 8:07 still remaining here in the 4th. And, guys, the last time I checked, the Phils were up 8-0 over the Atlanta Braves.
So we got the good NOLA, not the September.
That's right. Is it still September?
Yeah.
It is. I don't know. But 8-0, and the Brewers were up 3-2 over the Cincinnati Reds after trailing 2-0 in the first inning. So we'll get you some updates on that as we kind of inch closer to conclusion here at Abessinio. I mean, a lot of the high school games already wrapped up for this weekend. Some more tomorrow that we talked about a little bit. But
yeah,
St.
we're going to
Elizabeth's
get
looking good tonight.
some of those too. So if you're interested in going out and supporting these young men, and we'll tell you where to go. We still have some time left here, Nick. 8:07.
You know, I think the good thing by Tatnall is they're moving this ball against a very good St. Elizabeth's defense. They're not finishing it right now, but they're moving the ball.
They are. They have been. First carry here is going to be up the middle. Is that Gavin Andrews?
I don't know. I kind of lost my place there for a second.
On the first down carry, you're going to be good for about 6. For Andrews, that's his 5th carry of the night. He's got 30. He's averaging 6 yards a pop.
Yeah, St. E's ground game has been impressive from everyone who's touched the ball here today. And like you said, another nice gain on first down there.
Nick, bound in Smyrna tonight, Mike Judy on the sideline.
I saw that.
That's good to see, man. We all like Mike.
He is a great coach, great guy. Great to see him on that sideline for the Eagles. 7:20 and ticking here for St. E's. They'll hand it off in the jet motion.
You might be seeing like Judah Barber coming in here now, and some of the other. In fact, that was Jimmy Garrett, number 12 on the run. So Nick, you're going to see, Coach Lemon. These guys, we mentioned it earlier. They play both ways. They get a lot of wear and tear, and Coach Mike Lemon wants to get these guys out and keep them fresh.
Absolutely right. That's a smart thing to do.
And Benson was in the backfield there, and they just handed it.
He's quite the decoy, wouldn't you say?
Exactly right.
Tatnall on the road next week at Dickinson. That's a Thursday night game at 6 p.m. over at Dickinson. So it should be a good test for them.
Speaking of Tatnall, Mike, their first 3 were on the road, and like you said, next week they're on the road. So that's a tough stretch to start with 4 road games to start the season.
I believe that's a jet sweep to Benson.
A little surprised he's still playing. And St. E's is going to be back on the road. They have 4 of the first 5 on the road. They are at Glasgow next Saturday at noon before going to Indian River in 2 weeks. That's going to be an Indian River is always a tough trip. And they played up here last year. We streamed that one. It was their closest regular season game.
So clock continues to tick, 6:06 and running here in the 4th. Still 26-0 in favor of St. Elizabeth's. And I guess looking back on it, Tatnall kind of tightening things up here in the second half.
Yeah,
at least just defensively.
Really have. It was 20-0 at half, only 6 points so far here in the second half. And they, last time they held the Vikings, and then they had a drive and got down deep into Vikings territory. So there's been some positives for this Hornets team. But St. E's just keeps on rolling so far this season.
That's Gavin Andrews again. He picks up another 5.
Nick, if you're interested, tomorrow the schedule is about a half dozen games. William Penn at Hodgson, 10:30. 3 games at 11. Dickinson at Wilmington Charter. Charter's home opener. Lake Forest at Delcastle. And St. Mark's at Newark. Then at noon, there's 2 games. That game, not being played, so scrap that one. Salesianum at St. George's. And then 5 o'clock right here, it's Archmere against Howard. So that's your schedule for tomorrow.
1st and 10 for the Vikings. They'll fake the sweep to Benson, hand it up back the middle. I think that's Andrews yet again. He's got speed. Picks up about 17 on the carry.
Yeah, and, we've seen at least 4 different ball carriers now tonight for St. Elizabeth's, and they all have had some big plays.
7 carries for 52 yards now for Gavin Andrews, who's getting a bulk load of the work here late in this one. 4:34 and ticking in the 4th quarter, and it's looking as if the Vikings going to improve to 3-0.
What
through 3 weeks.
What an advantage for St. E's to have so many offensive weapons. And Gavin Andrews, he's playing mop-up time, but he is not a mop-up running back. He plays the whole game.
They'll turn.
I think that's Barber.
Giving the jet sweep to Garrett.
Oh, look out.
And a nice tackle that time, coming up and making a play for the Tatnall Hornets. From the secondary, I believe that time
16?
was number 16, Eli Buffone.
Yeah, of the never-ending Buffone family, Nick, and a lot of talented athletes in that Buffone family, including Eli. And that was a heck of a tackle.
3:46 and running, 2nd and 9 after the yard carry that time.
Jay, is it true that everybody at Salesianum went to school with a Buffone?
I didn't say more.
I know I did.
I went with 2 of them, twins.
Here was it? I had Brandon.
Anthony and
Mark. Or was Mark?
I can't remember Anthony's twin's name, but it was twin Buffones I went to school with.
Okay.
Miscommunication there, and he's going to be wrapped up and brought down.
And Nick, that's so Cole Soto, just like you. Those numbers are kind of thick. I had trouble reading number 11 there.
That was Jack Homer.
Yeah, he put a hurting on Cole Soto there.
Clock will continue to run. 2:54, 3rd and about 13 now for St. E's after the TFL by Homer. But again, as the clock continues to run, what a game it was for Kasim Benson. Didn't come out in the number 3 jersey that we're used to seeing, but he did do what we're used to seeing on the field, and that's absolutely dominate. 22 carries, 230 yards, 3 touchdowns, and that's only really through 3 quarters. Didn't get a lot of work in the 4th.
No, yeah, he had a carry earlier in this drive, but yeah, he's he did most of his work in the first 3 quarters.
How about Jack Homer again making the play? This
Number
one
24
for a short gain. Is Homer in there alongside, as Mike mentioned?
No, the runner was number 24.
Yep, that was Judah Barber, the freshman.
Oh, there he is.
Barber having a pretty successful first couple games
Interception.
through his freshman career as well.
Interception return for a touchdown last Saturday at Christiana from about 46 yards out. Nick, I had stopped recording by then, I'm ashamed to say.
And if I recall correctly, I believe averaging over 7 yards a carry on the ground this year as well.
Just a lot of weapons, particularly on the ground.
So 4th and 11, Viking offense will stay out there. In motion goes Hamilton. They hand it off. And that's going to be stopped way short. Good job by that Tatnall defensive line. You see Justin Smith, one of the first guys on the sideline, yelling for his teammates in a big play.
Yeah, if you're Tatnall, you don't want to get down after this 3rd straight loss. They're going to win some games.
And they've looked better. It's a good team. And we talked about the first 3 games they had to play. That would have been tough on anybody's schedule.
Yeah, it's like going through the gauntlet there, Schedule eases up just a hair after this for them. None of the games are easy, but some of them are easier than others. And playing St. E's friends and Jay, who's Archmere.
All on the road.
All on the road. That's not easy for these guys.
And again, taking on a team like St. E's.
And they remain on the road next week.
In Class 1A. I mean, St. E's has been so impressive the last couple of years. What a job Mike Lemon has done with this team as DeFeer hands it off, and he's absolutely smoked in the backfield.
Country O'Neill with the tackle for loss.
Eric O'Neill, his 4th TFL of the season. So Country getting some highlights on his tape here tonight. 2nd and 15 after the tackle for loss. Clock continues to run. We're now under a minute. So, guys, let me ask you this. Player of the game. Who's our first State Orthopedics player of the game?
I'm going with number 1 in your program, number 1 in your hearts, Kasim Benson.
Yeah, I think that's
as we have another sack here for the Vikings. It's a duo of maroon jerseys. I believe that's number 56, Stephen Goodman, coming in and making the play. His 2nd or 3rd sack of the season, 2nd sack tonight.
And that could be the last play of this game. I don't know if they have to snap it or not. But a good game here for the Vikings. I believe this is their home opener, Mike, right?
It is. They opened at
Conrad and then Christiana.
At Christiana last Saturday. Let me tell you about watching the game in Christiana. I haven't done that in a long time. That's a long trip down that hill.
I used to live right over there.
Going back up the hill.
Ground.
Jay, you are correct. That is the ball game.
And that'll do it here at Abessinio Stadium. The Vikings improved to 3-0 with a 26-0 shutout over the visiting Tatnall Hornets. Kasim Benson, your first State Orthopedics player of the game with 22 carries, 230 yards, and 3 touchdowns. Some other statistics for you. Chris Character, 6 carries for 33 yards. He also had 1 catch for 2 yards and a touchdown. Gavin Andrews added 7 carries for 52 as well on the ground for St. E's. And Soto, 3 of 5 for 23 yards. 3 of 4 for 23 yards and a touchdown. His efficiency remains through the roof. 9 of 10 now on the season for Cole Soto. Now you take a look at the Tatnall Hornets. Rayshawn Lamons once again being effective in this offense. 7 carries, 87 yards. An unbelievable amount again, up over double-digit yards per carry for number 2 in white. Stamper had 7 carries for 42 yards. And a tough day for the freshman Deviere, again with this tough schedule for him. He ended up going 3 of 6, 12 yards, and an interception.
Yeah, and a really impressive game by both teams. I think Tatnall, we saw some plays. They have some playmakers. Tough start to their season. They're still looking for their first points. And an impressive win here with St. E's on their home opener as they improved to 3-0. And like Mike said, next week they will be on the road.
We're able to drive the ball, got into the red zone a few times, just unable to convert them into points for the Tatnall offense. Again, what a performance won the St. Elizabeth Vikings through 3 weeks. They look almost flawless, giving up a combined 12 points in 3 games, Mike.
Yeah, just the beat goes on. They're running the ball a lot, and you don't want to put too much pressure on a guy who hasn't played a lot of quarterback in Cole Soto. I'm sure he'll throw more as the season goes on. But hey, if you have those weapons, Character, Benson, Andrews, Garrett, and more you're going to see Barber and Hamilton. If you have all those kinds of weapons, use them. And Coach Lemon doesn't have to wear out Kasim Benson and Chris Character because he's got other weapons. And they look good. The defense really, really solid, dominating at the line. And when Tatnall got into the red zone twice,
don't break.
They didn't break. And good for St. E's. Congratulations to the Vikings. But I think the Hornets have a lot of positives, and I think this team's going to be on the right end of these scores really quick.
Again, big win for St. E's, 3-0 for the Vikings. They win 26-0 here over the Tatnall Hornets. For Nick Alessandrini, Jason Winchell, and Mike Lang, it's your first orthopedics game of the week here on Delaware Live Sports. We will see you next week. Tatnall and St. E's. Again, Vikings get the 26-0 victory here at home.